What's up, everybody? After chat time. Getting ready for Xenia. Hamvention. The biggest ham show in the world.
Let's play a game. You don't even have a call sign. Step up like a man and give us a call sign. And give us a call sign. Step up like a man and give us a call sign. And give us a call sign.
Jealous? Oh.
Beat a panty out of a twist. Step up like a man and give us a call sign. Or beat it. Or beat a panty out of a twist. Step up like a man and give us a call sign. Or beat it. Or let's play a game. Then give us a call sign. Then give us a call sign. Or beat it. Let's play a game. Then give us a call sign. Then give us a call sign.
What
Or
is
beat it.
up, everybody?
Then
How's
give
it
us a
going?
call sign. Then give us a call sign. Or beat it. Let's play a game. Get your panties.
Somebody should do that as their long name for Mesh Tastic. Don't mesh with me. Don't read this. That would be funny. Welcome to the After Chat. This is your opportunity to get all your ham radio questions answered. It doesn't really matter what it is. We got Mike, Kate, MRD in the house, I think, possibly. And if that's the case, it really doesn't matter. He'll take all questions. but particularly the weirder, the better. But if it's a ham radio question, we want to hear from you. So join us on the Discord. The link is in the video description to our Discord. It takes a couple of minutes for you to get all queued up there, but make sure when you're doing it, set a microphone, set a speaker or something you connect to and talk through. It works just fine on your phone. Just make sure you got to hold down the PTT button. Set a PTT button. It's kind of like a repeater in there. We got a lot of people, a lot of voices, and we don't want to talk open all over each other. So, okay, I'm going to hop in there and just get started with the fun because you're probably tired of just hearing me rattle on about nonsense. So let's say hi. Where is the mic, KMRD? I'm going to look first. Where's that K-Merds? Oh, Ricky's in there. He's skipping out on us. Oh, no, he's there. All right, here we go. Now I can join.
Which is 300 or 500.
Howdy, howdy.
Which one?
Hey now.
Hey, I got a quick one. Super chat from Patrick. Through BNC adapters for less wear and tear on my HDs, but can't find good BNC antennas. How much do additional BNC adapters on antennas affect things? Also, a good flexible 6 meter or 1.25 meter HT. So Signal Stick, purveyor of fine antennas, they have a great BNC option, but most of the antenna manufacturers have BNC options. So you just have to look at Diamond, Comet, they all have handheld BNC available antennas. But Smiley's a fantastic antenna. But go get yourself a Signal Stick. Link is in the description.
Is that the 20-meter signal stick, 18-inch?
No, this is VHF
I'm
UHF.
just kidding.
I was gonna say,
Mike's-
is that a
Mike's,
secret thing that I don't know about?
No, Mike's Go Kid Challenge used a signal stick for a 20-meter QSO.
With the G90.
Yeah, with the
Oh,
G9.
right.
The
Yeah.
G90 tuned up the signal stick on
That's
20 meters.
Freaking awesome. That's awesome. I love it. Well, thanks everybody for coming out and hanging out with us on the After Chat. Appreciate you as always. Those that struggle through the traffic to make it to the Discord in time for the After Chat. We appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out. But yeah, we'd like to kick things off here with basically going straight to the folks on Discord who are new for the first time, right? Never been here before. This is your first time. So we'd like you guys to come forward, if there's any of you, to say hi, and this is your opportunity. If you have a question, we'll take your questions first. So is there anybody like that, new first-timer that'd like to say hi or ask a question? Come now.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm new here. I'm a new radio operator.
Right on, man.
I don't have a question at the moment. I'm trying to think of one
No, that's
to
fine.
ask.
But hey, just thanks for saying hi. Appreciate it.
I've been watching you for a minute now. Really like the stuff that you do.
Hopefully for more than a minute. Am I right?
Yeah, no, I mean like a while.
I know. I get what the kids say these days. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you coming out.
No problem, man.
Right on. So yeah, if you have a question, just come right back in with it, and we'll take it live. All right. So who's next? Anybody here for the first time that would like to say hi or ask a question? Go ahead. All right, well, so we give first crack to the Discord, but also everybody on YouTube or just in the text chat at Discord that you guys don't have voice set up, that's fine. If you want to just drop a question, if you have any concerns or anything like that, go ahead, hit us up with it, and we'll take them. But that means we can just open it wide up here. Go ahead and hit us with any questions, anywhere, anyone. Let's go. Go for it.
I've got a follow-up question.
Go ahead, follow-up question.
Yes. Hi, Josh. I'm the one that asked a question about. I think I didn't ask the question properly. I didn't want to ban an LMR 400.
Okay.
But I have to put an LMR 400 along a brick wall, and I hit a 90-degree angle. How do I do the LMR to go around that 90-degree angle without bending it? I guess.
Can you describe to me why you must go onto a brick wall to bring your coax into the place?
Well, it's not to go into the place. It's to go around a house, like a 90-degree brick wall.
Why can you go over it?
Meaning, what do you mean exactly?
Well, okay. So describe your situation. Where is your antenna located? And how far is it from where the radio is going to be?
Well, the shack is downstairs, so it's coming out of the shack, the LMR 400, and then it's going along a brick wall for about 30 feet, and now it has to make a corner, hit the corner of the house to go another 100 feet, and then reach the antenna, which is a multi-band dipole. But the problem for aesthetic, the wife is making me do a clean 90-degree turn around the corner of the house.
Mm-hmm. So where is this dipole? Is it on like a tree or something like that in the backyard?
It's the LMR goes up a tree, and which is like right adjacent to the house, and it goes up about 35 feet, and then Coax connects to the center.
Okay.
Connector
So
of the multi.
when it's coming out of where the radio's, when it's leaving the house, how are you doing that exit? Is it going to like some ground? Is there dirt or something like that?
No, it's coming out of a hole in a window. There is not a window, but the window sill is wood, and it's coming out of the house. But it's the bend right there is clean, very clean. It's
Okay.
I'm not bending it much.
Okay, but what does it go down to once it hits the ground? Like, is it just concrete or is it dirt?
I'm not sure. It's about 2 feet elevation from the ground itself, and then
What is the ground? What is the ground?
Oh, my ground is. I'd have to come up with a drawing. I think.
No,
that would
okay,
be
hold
better.
on. We're making this too difficult. It leaves the house, and is it concrete in front of where it comes out of the home, or is it dirt?
And it's in the air.
But could it be? Is it dirt outside?
Well, yes.
Yeah, just answer the question I'm saying. So it comes out like the ground is dirt. Yes.
Yes.
Can you just bury it?
Yeah, I see what you mean, and go do like a 90-degree.
No 90 degrees.
Underground.
Let's take the 90 degrees out of your mind for a second. Can you make how happy would your wife be if the coax just came out of the area, that came out of the house, got to the ground, went underground, and it went underground all the way until it got to your antenna?
Then I would not have any turning issues. Yeah, and it would be very clean.
The
Now,
cleanest, possibly.
would it need to be in a conduit, I assume?
As long as
LMR400?
so, I think LMR 400 is probably direct bury okay, but
Right.
you should check. There's a number of people who are screaming in the chat, use a right angle bracket, like a right angle connector. You could do that too, but then
That's
you could paint it black or hit it with a Sharpie.
that's what I had in mind. Like, cut the coax, put
Yeah.
two connectors, and use a 90-degree. Is there a lot of loss in
Nope.
those?
Nope.
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 I think that would probably be the best method, but your idea of underground is even cleaner.
Oh yeah, it'd be super clean if you just, and then you probably can also reduce your coax because you're just going to take a straight shot and go under the ground. The other people are saying use conduit. It depends on the cable, but yeah, that could be an option too. And then once you do this once, right, you're good. And then anytime you change the antenna or radio or whatever, you've got that underground coax. It's not going to be in anyone's way. No one's going to mow over it or anything like that. It's oftentimes a good way to go.
Would it be worth the trouble into burying the coax loss-wise? I mean, compared
It
to
doesn't
adding
change anything.
does not. Okay. Okay.
No,
Cool.
not at all.
Thanks
Yeah.
for the feedback.
Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah. Your your question of right angle LMR 400. The answer is don't. But you know, we figured you got a couple of options there you could chase if you wanted to. So, anybody else want to add anything that I might have missed? Okay. All right then. Anyone else, anywhere, wherever you're at, YouTube, Twitch, or here on the Discord, go ahead and hit us with a question. We'll take them live.
Hey y'all, this is George KQ4NEI. I'm new ham. Got tested and everything through the HRCC. I just want to say hi and just welcome.
Well, hey George, thanks so much for coming out and congratulations on passing your test. I hope you really enjoy amateur radio. Appreciate it. Let's see. Somebody in YouTube land. We'll definitely let's hit the speculation train because we got a number of things we got to talk about before we get to Hamvention. Will Kenwood release anything new? I'm not expecting it. I'm not expecting anything new from Kenwood. But we do have two companies that have announced they are releasing something, and that is Flex Radio and ICOM. Everybody catch the ICOM thing? They've got a radio that they've talked about. They said radio, too. It was in George. So if you watched Ham Nation this week, they said new radio. Radio was listed. And I went, oh, okay. Not just new piece of kit, radio. So, all right. So speculation-wise, anybody have any thoughts on what the Flex or the ICOM will be?
I want to speculate that ICOM is coming out with a new mobile VHF UHF radio.
That is what I'm thinking as well, Mike.
I'm
You and me?
hoping. I'm really hoping they do.
You and me are some
I
Podico.
hope they have something that's VHF, UHF, and HF like a 7100 in a 705 looking package. That's what I'm hoping.
They just updated the 7100. The 7100 got a little cost of living update and was put
So
out.
that means we're never going to see a 705 like with 100 watts, probably.
I mean,
That's
they've
the 7300.
no, it doesn't do VHF, UHF.
Okay.
And it doesn't fit under Mike's seat.
So the 705, remember, is all band, all mode. ICOM has done radios like they have made radios like that in the past. So that would be a move. If they did that, I'd be like, "Ooh, oh, interesting. I didn't see that coming." I think it's very much as Mike is thinking.
Yeah, the 9105. Somebody just put that in the chat. That's pretty funny.
I'm interested in why everyone is, because this is not the first time I've heard this. People asking for like a 100-watt all band all mode.
I don't
like
know why people want that.
705 specifically. Like, first off, how are you going to do that? Second off, how are you going to pay for that?
You can't fit 100 watts into a 705. First of all, it would have to be the size of a 7300 at least. But we had that. The 90. What was it? The Yaesu 991. And all-in-one radios, guys, are not the bee's knees. They're not the best performing radios. They are okay at everything.
If you made the 705 head plug into a remote like a 7100 and gave it 100 watts and all the beans and the UHF and the VHF, that would sell for probably $2,000, and people would buy them.
So what's the problem with the 7100 though? Is it just the color screen? Is that it?
I'm just saying, throw all the stuff at it, and the touch screen I like, but the waterfall's what most people like. Personally, I like the idea.
Are you really looking at a waterfall when you're driving down the road playing radio?
That's all I look at, actually. I don't even, now that I got the Ford Lightning, I just hit Blue Cruise and I just go.
And as far as the 7100 goes, T.O. has an issue of his, so there's always that to look at too.
Frank, you got some high gain going on today. You're a little hot.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, much better.
Okay.
I'm of the mindset that they just touched the 7100, so I can't imagine that they're gonna have a whole new radio with the 705 kind of head unit. But now here's an interesting thing. What if they made a head unit upgrade to the 7100 that made it look like the 705? That would be cool, but I don't think that that's possible. But that would be really cool.
Who would want that? Like, the 705 is a lot bigger than the head of the 7100.
Oh, I know. I'm saying you could scale.
So if we're talking mobile,
thinner. You could do 705 type head unit thinner.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I want
that'd be cool.
I like Josh's idea. That's basically the mindset I'm going with. Is a full color screen and waterfall and
I get it.
touch screen.
I get it. I hear you. I hear where you're coming from. And then, so what about Flex? Anybody have a hot? Where's Dawn? Where's N5SKT?
I haven't heard him tonight. Where is he? I didn't see him on the launch either.
With his moving, I think he's been very absent lately.
Yeah, he's been busy. That's true. He's raring to go with that new place. He's going to be. I can only imagine how much radio time that guy's going to be putting in after living with a high noise floor for so long. He's going to be in heaven.
I'm going to have to go up visit him once he gets everything set up.
Oh, it's going to be crazy. Go ahead. There was a hey, Josh.
Yeah, it's Nathaniel, W1OLE. I had another thought as far as a new radio from ICOM. Y'all have been talking a lot about HF and shack in a box type radios, but has anyone considered that it could be a new mobile VHF UHF?
We just said that.
Okay. I missed it.
You must have missed it.
I apologize for that. I did. I missed it.
Yeah,
but,
Mike and I both think it's going to be a mobile.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because if you think about it, their highest end mobile VHF UHF is the ID 5100, and it's been out for what, 17 years now?
No, the 5100
is it really that old?
I think so.
I need somebody to fact check that for me. That's old.
It might as well be. I don't know if it's that old. But to be fair, I mean, the 817, 818, how long did that last?
No, yeah, totally. Yeah, no, that I'm not saying it is rare that a radio is that good that it sticks around that long. And I'm using one right now. I really like it. I very much like it.
So the original ICOM IC5100 was, or the ID 5100A was replaced in May 2015 with the ADLX.
Okay.
So yeah, it's getting long in the tooth. That's 9 years now. The 5100 was out for a little bit before that.
Okay. All right. I'm with you.
So Josh, let me interject real quick, because Grayman Poda, and I can't believe I didn't think of this. So shout out to Tim. He went to the guy that was asking about the LMR 400 90-degree radius.
Yeah.
If you don't want to the direct burial, if he's still here, because that's a whole other process than just getting some clips and putting the coax.
It'll last a lifetime if you treat it well.
Per times microwave specifications, for LMR 400, the solid core.
Yeah.
The mechanical specifications for the bend radius installation, and this is just kind of like a one-time thing, is 1 inch. So you actually could just, now you don't want to kink it and just do a sharp 90-degree radius, but you actually could bend that around a corner. Now, when they say radius repeated, if you're going to repeatedly bend it over and over again, 4 inches, but you probably actually could be okay. Not probably, you would be okay just kind of slightly bending that cable around the corner of your house.
You can, but remember as the great Gordon West says, if you leave a coax in a bend, given enough time, if it's something that's straining the material, the center pin can migrate and touch the braid.
While you're not wrong, and
over
nor
time,
is Gordon,
over time,
you're not repeatedly bending that coax.
Yes, sure.
This is a one-time thing. So like, say you go out your house, you bring the coax directly up, you run coax under the eaves of your house, and then you got to make a 90-degree turn. You're fine. And Stefano Messi has told me the same thing. It's when it's repeated, that's when you start deforming the dielectric, you start deforming the braid, the foil around it. That's where things start to go south.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a one-time thing. It's going to stay there. And that's why you want to, generally when guys will run like, let's use Messi and Poloni Airborne 10 to their tower, then you have a rotator, because the Airborne 10 is a solid core. Once you get to that rotator, you're going to switch to an Ultraflex with a stranded core cable, because they're not susceptible to that kind of degradation that you're going to get with repeated bends as you would a solid core coax.
Sure. That makes sense. Okay.
You know, if I had the money and I was putting a 200-foot, 199-foot tower at my house, I'd spend the money on either half or 7/8 heliax.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you understand. His question was about LMR 400, which means to me that he already has the LMR 400. So when people ask questions, you kind of have to say, you can speculate and you can say you can do this, you can do that. Well, usually questions are, and I'm coming from a sales background where customers ask me questions. Well, you have to answer their question with what they have.
Hey,
more so
Mike,
within reason.
Hold on.
Would a hot air help that bend for that one-time deal?
You probably don't want to do that. You probably don't want to do that. You don't want to mess with the metallurgy of anything. That's not a good idea. A
lot of it has to do with the dielectric. So like when you're trying to solder, especially with the older like solder type connectors. Yeah, there you go. Jody just put a thing in there. When you're trying to solder the old connectors, like on LR400 or when I first got licensed, I got RG213, and trying to solder the braid to the connector, you've got to keep that soldering iron on for so long just for it to get hot that you're melting the dielectric.
Yep.
And that's bad. That creates resistance at that point and completely changes the impedance and the velocity factor, the power, everything. You'll see, if you actually put it on a meter, you'll see a dip there. So you really want to be careful with that dielectric.
So you could put a bet. So if you're still in the chat and you see Jody's, go to the hashtag livestream chat and look at the picture Jody posted. Yeah, going around downspout. If you kind of give it a little elbow, that'd be fine. But I'm assuming if you give it an elbow, your wife's going to be like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Ask me how I know.
That's exactly what that guy was describing, though, what Jody's picture is. He's got to put a 90-degree around the house and bring it around, whatever. That looks beautiful, Jody.
I mean, my wife, that would not stand up to Leia scrutiny. I'd be digging a trench. Which, to be honest, I think that's going to work fine. If it'll last a lifetime, pretty much, as long as you take care of the coax.
So I pulled that picture from a guy complaining that his wife didn't want him to run that electrical line around the eaves trough.
I also will note that, it's is that actual coax? Is that heliax?
No, it's conduit. It's
I was going to say. So if also, pro tip, don't run your power line and your coax right next to each other like that if that's the case.
Well,
I got chokes on it. I just can't get rid of this line noise.
Yeah, Rick, go ahead.
I just mentioned to the wife that the coax can be buried, and she vetoed and said bury everything. So I guess the decision has been made.
Veto means says no. So what does that mean? She's making you bury it now?
Well, she doesn't want the coax to run the length of the brick wall. She wants no sight of the actual coax.
Oh, Rick,
so
is she watching us now? Is she in the room, Rick, with us right now? You can't be doing this.
She might be hearing us.
You can't be live right now and have her in the room. It's too dangerous. Let me tell you, you're not safe right now. You're not safe.
Can you safely talk to us?
So, yeah, I would check. I would seriously fact check the direct burial, though. I'm assuming it's going to be okay, but you should check. Now, with that said, actually cutting a trench, you don't need to dig out a trench for a coax. You carve it with like a blade device, and you just run the coax in. It's actually not very difficult. It's truly not. I promise you.
I have a question. Do you already have the coax, or you're looking to get the coax?
Right now, it's sitting on the ground, and she wants me to make it disappear. And I had the idea of going, 90 degrees, but I didn't want to bend the coax like 90 degrees, straight. I thought about the solution of putting either an adapter that goes 90 degrees, and then Josh suggested the burial, which makes sense, and that got voted in.
Okay, I was I must have missed it in the live stream. What kind of? And I'm sorry, Josh. I just want to catch up here. Is it times microwave or is it something else?
It's times microwave. It's fairly stiff.
It's magnet box.
Okay, then it should be fine for direct burial because all of my times microwave LMR 400 is direct burial compatible.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
You just don't want to make it a super tight bend. That's the only problem. No, like direct 90-degree bends. You can go up to about 60 or 70-degree bends, and that's about it.
That spec sheet that I dropped in the chat earlier, it talks about there's like 5 or 6 different types of LMR 400 as far as the outer jacket and what their properties and characteristics are.
This one's got kryptonite. You can fight Superman with it. All right.
I think that was on there.
Good. Oh, that's what you want in a coax for sure. Somebody had a question earlier up. I think I missed it. Make sure you put question in your chat or at Ham Radio Crash Course so that I can make sure I can go back to it. Do you like orange on black or black on orange? Yes. I mean, I like mostly orange. So if that's orange is kind of my jam. I don't know.
I might have found the question you were thinking of. It was at 6:30 from just James. I can read it out since I have it here. Is there a max wattage on coax cables? For example, the Chameleon coax says max wattage is 500 single sideband and 300 digital.
So I'm assuming Feedline does have an upper limit, but most of it's going to be legal limit. It's largely not the metallic stuff. It's all the dielectrics and all the other stuff. Particularly if it's lossy, buddy, you're gonna have and if you have a compromised coax, it's probably gonna melt if you're putting a lot of RF down. Thank you for the super chat, Will.
That same times microwave also has electrical specifications on there, and the LMR 400 is good for 1600 kW a peak.
There you go.
Think you're good.
So
hey,
this is
everybody. If they're looking at DX Engineering, they have a spec guide on DX Engineering. Sorry about that. And just if you're looking at coax, there's a comparison chart. That's all I was trying to say. Make your life a little easier if you're really looking for it.
All right. So Dog Booyah asks, hi all, quick question, MFJ 913 4-1 have a choke built in. They imply it does by saying a current balun can reduce or eliminate stray RF often found on the coax. So that's off of Discord, so I'm going to have to go back up then. Anybody have the long form of that question?
I'll see if I can find.
It was at 26. Got it. Stray RF can cause burns and other problems with electronic equipment while reducing antenna radiation. Installation of the 913 or 919 current balun can increase the efficiency of any amateur station. Was there a question in there? He said quick question, but I don't see the question. Are you asking how it works or why would you use one? So yes, it does work. And it does that by creating a high impedance area around the shield of the coax that could pick up stray RF. And that stray RF, if allowed to get into your radio, would present itself as a very high noise floor. So there you go. Hey, Greyman Poda, member for 8 months. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. And Jody, now I know I was drunk 38 months ago. 38 months of wow! Thank you, man. That's awesome. I appreciate you. I'll drink to that, to your drunkenness one night where you became a member.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that long. Time flies, buddy.
Man, seriously, thank you. Yeah, that's the. Let's see, what's the other one? Always be choking. Yeah, that a lot of people say that. I think the better one is when in doubt, choke it out, because that's actively what you're doing. You're creating a high impedance environment.
I have one question.
Well, I'll come back to you in 1 second. You guys, we were talking about the 7100. The 7100 got an update earlier this year, if not the end of last year. But that's not what we think is going to be in the cards for Hamvention. But yeah, it's going to be a busy show, I think. All right.
Going back to that real quick.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the odd man out here. I think Kenwood might actually bring something to the show this year.
Have you seen any evidence to support that, or is that just feels?
Speculation, Josh. Speculation. That's all it is. But
hold on. Do you have evidence? Okay. Do you have evidence? Is what I've asked.
No.
Okay.
No, but with the hunt for the new D710, I know. W6 GPS said they weren't close to it yet, but I just have a funny suspicion they might have something.
Okay, but that's not based on anything. That's just your feelings.
Correct.
Okay, I got it. Andy Callie will not be outdone. Also 38-month member. Man, Andy, thank you so much. That's amazing. All right, back to the chat. Who had the question? Go ahead.
It was me.
Okay, go for it.
So I got a Motorola radio for like my first radio, and I'm seeing online some people are saying it's good, and some people are saying it's not good for like amateur radio use. So I'm trying. Do you have any other radios that you could recommend?
Well, first, what is the Motorola? We have Motorola guys in here, so let them answer. What they think.
It is a Motorola XPR 6350.
What are you trying to do with it?
I'm trying to just like talk on like repeaters and stuff like that.
Absolutely fine radio for just generic analog stuff. I do believe it does DMR even.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So yeah, that's right. The 6350 does. So yeah, you absolutely fine radio for ham radio. Whoever says that Motorola is not good for ham radio is a sad ham. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Is it front panel programmable, or how do you have to program it?
It's through a software.
Okay. I mean, assuming you want to talk on repeaters and stuff, and you just want to load like simplex, 2-meter simplex, or 70 centimeters, they're fine. Yeah, they're totally fine.
Okay.
I have a Moto that doesn't require software, so Arnold Grubbs, you can get them front panel programmable, and they work. They actually are super easy to program. Super, super easy. If they're front panel programmable. Okay, good. Anybody else in the Discord that has a question, comment, whatever, because I don't even think we didn't even get to Flex, really. We got sidetracked by talking about Dawn for a second, but what does everybody think the Flex radio is going to be? Or Flex device. We don't know if it's going to be a radio. Oh, nobody, not a big.
That's out of my. That's above my pay grade. So
Yeah.
I can't speculate.
Yeah, if it is a sweet radio, I might be picking up a Flex. Let me just say that much. Somebody was going to say something. Go ahead.
Is Leia in the room?
Leia is not in the room. She's not even in the house. But I guess she knows how to find me if she wants to listen to this. Go ahead. Was that Mark?
Yeah, I've got a question. Slightly different topic, though. Are we okay to transition?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So I've been working on lighting and everything in my ham shack. And what I've done is I've turned my office into a furnace. And I'd like suggestions on a very, very quiet fan that I can put up here. I've bought a few and I've been disappointed. So I'm hoping somebody has something they can recommend.
How much you want to spend?
Under $100 or under.
Oh, I was going to say the Dyson type fans with the inductor blade, those are very quiet.
Dyson what?
Any of the Dyson type of fans that has the inductor in the base and then the airfoil system to blast the air out are usually very quiet.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, cool.
The air blade or whatever. But I have I use Vornado a lot. Vornado is a brand that I pick up. I have a Vornado like industrial fan. It's on right now in low setting, and I don't know if you can hear it.
Mark, I just tagged you in the chat.
I've been running one of those Vornados for 3 years in my storm shelter to keep the humidity down. Straight for 3 years.
He said under $100 though. That's why the Dyson was not really on his list.
I use the small one, so I'm not sure what they cost. $50, something like that.
No, there's multiple things going on at once. Links getting dropped and a myriad of other things. Let me pull up the Vornados really fast for you. So they're on Amazon. You can find one. Literally, they make like every price range of fans, and I have this big industrial one. Actually, mine's bigger than that, but even at $60, it's really good. Oh, that's what I have. The heavy duty large airflow. I use that in the garage, and I move it all over the place, but it's oftentimes just points up at the ceiling and redirects the airflow. Just kind of stir things up. Works great.
Cool. All right. Well, that gives me some things to try. Thanks, all.
Mm-hmm.
Is most of his heat? Is it all coming from radio stuff, or is it a computer?
That's a good question.
It's computer stuff and lights are the primary things. The radios are inconsequential at this point. But if I'm trying to record something, I don't want the noise in the background and have to deal with that.
Mine was my computer. I put a liquid cooler in. I no longer have hot air coming from my computer.
That works. All right. So, question from Plop Token. Plop Token asks, passed my technician test last weekend and looking for a good deal on an HT. Are there any sites that usually have sales during Hamvention? Yeah, last year there was a smoking good deal at Ham Radio Outlet on the FT5DR. It was like $300 or $350. That was a really good deal for that radio. Yes, all the major manufacturers generally will have a sale or two on multiples of their radios during Hamvention, and you can sometimes actually get things even cheaper if you're at the show. So yes, wait until then, but you will have to look up all the retailers. So Ham Radio Outlet, DX Engineering, Gigaparts, you go down the list. All right. Yep, everyone has sales on Hamvention and then on Black Friday. Black Friday's been kind of sad, though, recently, so I hear you, Brett, but eh. All right, what about, let's change it over to talking about getting ready for Hamvention. Are you guys, who's going, first of all? How many hands, can we get hands in the chat? Who's going to go? Hands up, thumbs up. I know Mike will be there. Oh, Jody's got it. Jody, you're going? Nice.
You betcha. First time.
Oh, man. All right. Matt Wolf with a thumbs up. N2YTA says, me. I'll be there. Rob, right on. Debating. Antonio says debating. Make sure if you're going to ask me a question, you put in question or at Hammer Radio Crash Course. But there is a question from Pork Radio Noob. Hey, Josh, would you still... Let me see if I can find it over here. There it is. Would you still recommend the FT7R for a new ham wanting to get off the Chinese platform? I don't know that I was the one that said that is the radio to get into if that's your first radio. I don't think that was me. Because I've said the FX6 is really good from Yaesu. That is a strong upgrade from the Chinese radios.
The VX6?
VX6, that's it. VX6. My wife was joking with me the other day. She said, you know how, like, you're not really into sports? And I'm like, yeah. And you're like, and sometimes, like, the people who just rattle off sports names and stats and all that stuff, like, you're kind of not about that. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, you know that, like, just remembering features and model numbers of radios is the exact same thing? And I'm like, you shut your mouth when you're talking to me. That's disgusting what you've done here. But it kind of feels that way. I think she was not wrong.
I'm the same way with sports. Just, unless it's the San Francisco Giants and this is going to be a hot topic, but I won't take it until later, unless it's real football, not American pigskin, unless it's real football and it's either Italy or Brazil, I don't care.
Yeah, and we're not talking sports, so it's okay. That was just a joke. That wasn't a let's deep dive sports invitation.
I'm the same way when it comes to, what Leia said about, you go, oh, okay, whatever about it. I'm the same way.
All right. Well, let's say hi to our YouTube friends since we're here. Chase, KI5IRE. How you doing, man? You here, Chase?
He dropped out and I didn't realize it.
It's all right. Then you're next, Frank. What have you been up to?
I've been slacking on the videos a little bit, but I had a couple live streams. The first Friday of each month, I have a Q and AMA. This last month, I had Tank Radio on. Next, and I'm going to have one YouTuber every other month, I think, come on. I have a couple other live streams lined up that I have ideas for. I have a video coming out this coming week that features a 1K8 MRD in it. So that you're gonna have to stick around Tuesday before Ham Radio Clubhouse to see that one during the Tuesday night premieres. Other than that, not much else going on here. I do have a slight Aurora related question, but we'll go through the YouTubers and then I can ask that.
Excellent. All right. Tim is in the house. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I went to go do
a Grayman Poda. I didn't say Grayman Poda. Grayman Poda. You guys drop your links too if you want to. Go for it. Sorry, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, man. I tell you, I went to go do a activation this afternoon, early evening, and everything was absolutely dead. Just no noise, no nothing. Just flat. It was almost like I didn't have an antenna on the radio. I swapped out my coax just in case. But so then I came home and it was like mysteriously we had no power. I was starting to wonder if we got hit by a flare or something, but power came back. So
yeah, I'm on FT8 right now and it's pretty much dead.
So I do have a question about those batteries you were talking about last night. I'm sure we can get into it a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll get to some hot mesh tastic talk here in a little bit, but. Let's see. Go down the list. And next is KMRD, Ham Radio Tube. Are you ready for Hamvention, Mike?
Dude, speaking of this mesh-tastic stuff, I'm trying to print these damn... I've been 3D printing since last night. My 3D printing skills suck so bad. I just printed the center frame. It just came off the printer here. Uh-huh. So I'm trying to figure out how to take off what are supports and what belongs there. So we'll find out. It'll be interesting.
Well, Mike, I just supported my frame that I just hot off the printer. In fact, I have, since I was printing one, I figured I'd print a couple more, and I've got 3 frames there So if you need one, you just let me know what you need, and I'll bring them to you.
Yeah, I missed the snapping of the frame there on the YouTubes, but
yeah, I'll do it again because I got another one. So here's the backside, right? And so if you just actually, I'll do it on the overhead.
Oh yeah, mine doesn't look like that. No.
There's like a couple of other pieces that I have to break off, but that's what it's supposed to look like.
I mean, my frame looks like that, but I don't have the same support structure that you have. So, yeah, that'll be fun. But I'm curious to try these little things. So,
yeah, they're cool.
We'll see what happens.
It's gonna be fun.
That's kind of where I'm at.
We're not busy enough, right?
Right. I drove. So I printed a few. Like a couple tops and bottoms, and then I just did the first frame now.
Mm-hmm.
So at like 4, maybe a little after 4 o'clock today, I'm like, I need to get those screws, the M3x20 and the nuts, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, Ace Hardware's right down the street. Let me drive down there. I get there, they're closed.
Wonderful.
I'm like, damn it, now I got to go to Home Depot, which is, I hate Home Depot. They never
Really?
have anything I need. Oh, they're terrible.
Okay.
So Home Depot didn't have it.
Sure.
So I'm like, it's like 5 o'clock by now, or darn near. So I'm looking on Google Maps. I'm like, where's the next Ace Hardware to me? 21 miles south of me. So I haul ass down the freeway.
Oh no!
I got the screws. But they closed at 6. I got there at like 5:20. So
okay.
I drive fast, but I got the screws. But I don't think the screws are going to matter in my 3D printing skills are.
I gotta tell you, if you just buy the kit, I end up doing this all the time. Is I just buy the multi-pack set off of Amazon, and that's all I do. I just I don't have time to go to the store. I just buy it off there, and
I just made time to do this because this literally just came up last night on Jason's stream.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm doing this. But whatever.
But I will. You know what? Actually, let me see if I can still show it. Well, we'll go to the next person. But anything you else want to mention? Is there anything else going on for Hamvention?
Oh yes. Actually, there is.
Mm-hmm.
Let me buy some time here because I feel. Hang on. Let me post it in the Discord. Do you guys like free things?
Yeah.
Free things.
Of course.
Things that don't cost you money. So, okay, I just posted a picture in the Discord. So, every Hamfest or every gathering or whatever, I clean out the closets of all the things that the vendors, that the radio manufacturers, the things we review, all that. Like, I've only got one mouth, right? I can only use one radio at a time, theoretically. Right. Maybe 2 if I'm doing FT8 and sideband, maybe. Haven't tried that yet. So I've got a crap ton. I think I have 10 radios, like HTs. I think there's like 8 HTs, 8 or 9 HTs, and a little like mobile. They're all like Chinese stuff.
Okay.
And then a couple lithium iron phosphate batteries. There's a 6 amp hour and an 8 amp hour. Whole bunch of crap that I'm bringing to Hamvention and just giving away.
Oh.
I'll just have it at Jason's trailer at the campsite. So if you want a radio, and I'm hoping like that I can give some of these to like new hams, whether you're old or young. I don't really care your age, but there's 2 of the TalkPod A36 Pluses in there that are both. I mean, I tested them. They're both pretty RF clean-ish.
Okay.
And then I think I don't know how I got this many, but I have, I think 3 TID Radio TD-H8 radios.
Yeah.
I've never bought any of them. I'm looking through I'm like, I found another one. Like, I don't know where they come from. And there's one of them. That big box is that that dish, that parabolic dish that MFJ sells. That's like
the ultrasonic receiver.
Yeah. That's what's in there. That white box on the top.
That's worth some money now, Mike. That's a rare item.
Yeah. It's worth more to me to get out of my house. The white box on the top is like that RF line noise sensor thing for like power line noise. I got all kinds of crap to give away.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see me at Hamvention, or just come to Jason's trailer and just take what you want, I don't care.
Come to Jason's trailer for radio crap.
Yes, it's not crap. They all work.
Yeah, those TID radios, I got a number of them too, and they kept blowing me up to review it. And every time I tested it, it failed. And I'm like, guys, I'm sorry, but your radio continually fails. They're like, we'll send you another one. This one's good. I'm like, I don't trust this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak to their spectral purity, but they're radios and they're free.
The talk pods are bad.
The talk pods that I have aren't. So those two yellow boxes in the corner in the picture, they're not bad. They're not bad at all. So
I didn't see the picture yet. I'm gonna have to.
Mike, all I have to say is Ferris must love you because even mine, while they were somewhat clean, they weren't 100% clean.
I'm very open and honest with the vendors.
Yeah,
I think it was TID Radio just emailed me, and they're like, "Here's some talking points you can use for your video: the Bluetooth app and the web app to program the radio." I'm like, "Your web app sucks, my you know what? It is horrible." I'm like, "I will not be touching on it. I don't care."
Did you get the POC email yet?
No, I don't care about that.
Okay.
I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done reviewing like Chinese HTs.
I know,
I
right?
really don't want to do it.
I know. I get a wild hair once a year to review a bunch of them. Then I'm like, you know what? There's a reason why I don't review these so hard anymore.
Yeah, and like everyone else does, and I try very hard to not do what everyone else is. And it's like, what's another Chinese HT? If you're gonna buy a Chinese HT, if you're into ham radio, buy the $18 Bofang.
There it is. It is, Mike.
That's it. That's it.
And they're clean. They're total. I
have one sitting on my shelf right now.
They're spectrally clean.
I don't think I've tested. I bought it.
Test it right now. Do it live.
Like the $18. No, I don't know where the tiny SA is right now, but it's $18. Like I got into ham radio. I bought a UV5R for $25.
I know, right?
Now they're $18.
I know.
Just buy that. Everything else is marketing gimmickry. You know, you got the 8-watt version or the, you know, so I bought the UV5R and then I bought the GT3 TP that had 8 watts. It looked different. They're all the same freaking radio. And then you got the TID radios and the, you know, whatever brand Chinese radio. I've got a Retevis RA89 in that bunch. I've got a GMRS, an Ilons, whatever the hell GMRS one they just came out with. I don't know. There's just a bunch of stuff in there. So if you want it, just take it.
Mike, hot off the presses. It's no longer $18. It is now $17.50.
I might just
Is that
buy
shrinkflation?
For $17.
I'm dropping.
Yeah, that's all you need. Because once you get one of those radios, you're gonna either know that you want to get into ham radio and you're gonna get your technician license and you're gonna pursue it further, or you're not.
Right.
If you pursue it further, you'll be like, all right, Bofang's cool. Maybe I want to upgrade to an ICOM ID50 now.
Right.
You know, and it's a gateway drug.
So there was
to fall for all these other gimmicks from all these other companies, and everything they do is so poorly executed, like the Bluetooth apps and things, and you know, a lot of them want to create an account and sign in, and if you look at what they do with like tracking data, you know, you open the app for your phone. I had a battery do this to me. A battery. you download the app, and they're like, sign in, and not even download the app, but on iOS, it shows you the permissions that the app wants, and one of them was tracking data. And I'm like, I think this is lead time. And I emailed him. I'm like, there's no way in hell I am suggesting my viewers to watch this. And I said it in the video. I'm like, They track you. Don't use this app. There's no reason a battery needs my tracking data.
A battery. Yeah.
A battery.
Why? So there was
a Bluetooth app and it worked really well. The Bluetooth app is great. But why do you need tracking data?
So there is a question, Mike, for you from Chris Knapp on the YouTube site. He says, I'm a newer ham, and the QRZ1 I have is pretty crappy. Where can I find you at Hamvention?
That's a great question, Chris. So Jason and I will be arriving hopefully Tuesday afternoon. So we'll be there all day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, leaving Sunday probably. We'll be monitoring 146.48 simplex.
And Mesh-tastic.
And Mesh-tastic.
You'll be DXing Mesh-tastic.
Probably a couple more people that will be on just a radio. So you can PTT your radio on 146.48. Now, we will not all be monitoring at the same time. For example, if I'm doing an interview, the volume is going to be down, so I won't hear you. But someone else will probably come back to you, so you can say, "Hey, this is Chris Snap, whatever your call sign is. You know where K8MRE is? Chances are, I saw him a minute ago. He went that way. Whatever." Yep. But we all generally will periodically through the day go back to Jason's campsite. Everyone is welcome.
Yep.
It's right outside Building 3 in the tiny campgrounds. It's the first street on the left. And just come hang out. We'll have beers and stuff. If you're driving, bring a chair. We cannot have too many chairs.
Yeah, we always need chairs. If you're going to hang out at Jason's place, tag your name on your chair and bring some out. Take them home. Jason has enough chairs, but he mentioned that last night on the happy hour. Bring chairs. We need more chairs because literally we get standing room only, because what happens usually at about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, people start getting real dead, and they just want to go sit, and Jason's campers kind of become the oasis for a lot of us. And it's always a good time. As always, everybody's welcome. I will be squawking Mesh-tastic on GPS throughout the entire thing, so you can try and find me too.
Now I want to give a caveat though, because Chris is saying his QRZ1 is pretty crappy. To be fair, I'm not bringing Japanese radios.
No, yeah, he's not giving you an ICOM or a Kenwood or a Yaesu. He's got other Chinese radios.
Radio TDH8s. The RA89 from Redivis is actually pretty cool.
Now, Mike, you are going to be squawking APRS, so they can just find you that way, right?
Of course he will be. Of course he will be.
I will be bringing my ICOM ID50.
Oh, so it'll be DPRS.
I will be on 146.48 simplex.
I
don't need any of that APRS garbage.
Why don't you hit on that real fast, Mike? That has become your Hamfest radio. And why is that, Mike?
Well, it's not even... That's a great question, Josh. I'm glad you asked that. Yeah, it's not only my... Actually, Chris, I'll put... I think the RA89 is probably the best out of the bunch. If you want that, let me know, and I'll just put your name on it. Otherwise, just come and grab whatever you want. So the ID50 is, I'm an ICOM, becoming an ICOM fanboy. I have Yaesu. I just put a Yaesu FTM 300 in my car, which I actually kind of hate. But the ID50 is just an incredible radio. It's USB-C charging. It's USB-C programming. It's what is it? IPX7 waterproof something or other.
Yeah.
The battery lasts literally for days.
The whole Hamfest. The whole Hamfest. It'll run. The whole Hamfest. Like just nonstop. I ran out. It's great.
So we got there Wednesday. I finally had to charge it Friday at like 1 o'clock. And that's not just standby. That's like we're talking on the radio quite a bit during these festivals. ran the early check-ins for the YL net on the radio.
You were the pre-net op.
Yeah. It's just it's a little bit smaller. I don't have the biggest hands in the world. It just fits in my hands. It's an ICOM. The menus are easy to navigate. They put logic and thought into them. I mean, it's a $400 radio.
Yeah, it's expensive.
I would expect that.
Yeah.
But it's just I love the radio. I absolutely love it. And it only takes, if it's charging USB-C, I think 5 hours to charge.
Yeah,
which is pretty quick.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'll still probably be carrying the D75 because it is now my go-to APRS radio. But I love the ID50 because the battery life it reminds me of like my FT60 when I first became a ham. That battery life is forever. It runs forever. And you're like, but it doesn't have the waterfall. Where's the screen, the color screen? To be honest, all that stuff takes away from it being a radio and being powered on. So it still has a waterfall. Well, not a waterfall. It has a spectrum. It has a spectrum.
No, it's got a waterfall.
It does have a waterfall.
50's got a waterfall.
But it's grayscale. But it's fine. That's totally fine. And I love it. I now carry the ID50
That's
more than I
another
carry the
selling
ID52.
feature. That's another selling feature that it is not a color display.
I know. I'm actually
because you can see it in the sun.
I'm team grayscale, low power everything at this point because it's like I want it to run. I want it to be a radio when I need it to be a radio. The ID52, that's Leia's radio, like legit. She's like, I love that radio. I'm like, it's yours. Take it. It's in her office. It charges there. And ID50 is like the one that I'm
sure she uses it a lot too.
All the time. When she's cooking, she's just on the YL net and just chatting with people. You can't get her off of it.
She's radioing you in the
absolutely
in the living room. Josh, what do you want for sides?
Right. Yeah, ID50 in one hand, mesh tastic in the other, and we're just talking back and forth in multiple modes of conversation. Absolutely, all the time. No, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Yep.
Hey Josh, I got a funny thing about mesh tastic I just found. I'm gonna put it in the chat because I know Mike's gonna be all about this.
Okay.
I had a question about your premium radios. Where does the FT5 fit in that?
The FT5 is the radio I take if I'm planning on like properly being outdoors, because I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I have a THD 74. I still have my D72. I'm not going to sell that. But no, I sold my D74. Right? I did. Yeah, I sold my D74 to Shane. Shane has it now. That's an expensive radio to take out hiking. So I almost always take the FT5DR if I'm going to be like off grid and I might actually need to APRS for reasons. That's the radio I take. And the fact that it is, you can submerge it. It is, to a point. It's good in that sense. There you go, Mike. Mesh tastic to APRS. Grayman's he's got you covered, dude.
I can't wait.
Can't wait. Did you hear the excitement in that voice? That's the unmistakable voice of excitement. All right. Well, Mike, hang out. We're going to run down the list. We got a couple more. Mark Hughes is with us. We heard him a little bit earlier. He's doing all kinds of stuff with the Boondock. How are things going with the Boondock? And where are you guys? What are you about? What do you got going on?
Hey, thanks for checking in. Things are going really well. We've got some really cool cases. It turns out, by the way, for anybody out there who's going to develop a product, do not design a custom case. Find a plastic case that's been custom molded for something else, some generic size. You can mill in whatever parts you want. That's no big deal. That's pretty cheap. But my goodness, do not try to make your own. It is hella expensive. Anyways,
yes.
We're working all those problems. We had an issue with some bad parts from China, which happens, but we got first samples, and the samples came back just fine. And we said, yeah, go ahead and do the full production run. And then the production run, they screwed it up. So since we did it the right way, and we're like, hey, listen, this is different than the samples you sent us, they are remanufacturing everything at their cost. Which is just
that's what they should do. But
oh yeah, but it was like, there was no arguing. It was like, yeah, we screwed up. We're sorry. We're going to rush it, and we're going to do what we can do. So we're waiting for him to finish those, and we're talking with people, and things are going well. But I wanted to go back to the thing from earlier. I'm starting to try to make videos about how to use Boondock Echo, and I put one out on the channel if anybody wants to look at it. And I blew out my forehead with lighting, so I'm trying to figure out how to fix that. With Frank, I'm going to sucker Frank into helping me.
Frank,
but want to make a lot more videos.
YouTube Frank,
and
yeah,
YouTube Frank, yeah. So yeah, just want to make a lot more videos. Hopefully, we'll get somebody from Boondock Tech into Hamvention just to kind of walk around and say hi.
Nice.
I know you had a little project for us, so let us know what that is, and we'll go from there.
Yeah,
Mark, you don't have.
I can't.
Sorry,
I don't. Oh, go ahead, Frank.
Mark.
Go ahead.
You don't have to sucker me into anything. I'm willing to help.
You've already been very helpful, my friend. Thank you.
So we'll
welcome.
talk. We got to talk for next year to build up to this, because one of the anytime I talk about this, people are going to kind of know what I'm talking about. But one of the stipulations of this thing that's going to happen at Hamvention that nobody knows about, no one knows about what I'm going to talk about, is that it's supposed to be a zero cost barrier to entry. So we have to figure out how to make that work with Boondock. And I think I know a way, but we're gonna have to. We need more prep time, so we're gonna have to do it next year. But yeah, sorry, we weren't able. There was just too much on the table to make it all work this year.
Not a problem. We're focused on manufacturing right now, so don't even sweat it. We appreciate you.
Yeah, buddy. We appreciate you too. Thank you.
Mark, the video you were talking about, is it the offline mode video?
That's the one.
All right.
Hey, so Mark, really fast, what kind of lights are you using? Because this is also in my wheelhouse.
Oh boy. Okay, so I've started to actually order good stuff, but mostly my setup right now consists of security cameras and whatever I can find.
Okay, so you want to know the trick to lighting? Soft box.
Yes,
2 words. Soft box. Whatever the light is, you need to diffuse it in a soft box, particularly if you're doing a head-on shot with some kind of a backlight and then some kind of a bounce light or an ambient light. You need to soften that out big time. So I had these really nice LED flat. Well, really nice is relative. It was like a couple $100. It was these big square LEDs, and I had the same problem. It would pick parts of skin and shirts and it would blow them out. And so even though you had a diffuser plate that went over the front of it, I left that in, and then I added this soft box to it. So you need to step it off a little bit from the light, and it's got to be this very opaque material that softens the whole thing. And it doesn't make you soft like a soap opera or anything like that. It just makes it so that the light isn't so aggressive, if you know what I mean. Like right now, that softbox isn't actually doing a very good job, or I'm just oily. I think I'm actually oily. Yep, I'm oily.
Yeah, and another thing, Mark, I've had problems with this too. Light temperature and the white light balance on your camera, and making sure that those two line up.
Yeah, do you have the ability to do the white balance?
Yeah, the lights, absolutely. I've got them all set to about 5500K.
Yep.
The cameras, I really have to drop some coin in, because I'm not kidding when I'm telling you I'm using security cameras. And I got them at an auction. It's bad.
Do you have an iPhone or an Android phone that's fairly new?
You should probably just use
I have
that.
an Android,
You should use that. They're better.
Yep. There's an app, the Black Magic camera app. I think it's the people that make the DaVinci
Resolve. Yeah.
That is awesome, and it's free.
You know what the coolest part about the Blackmagic software is for anybody that likes to shoot on phone? So if I'm walking around like this, I could be recording and you are like, you don't care. The second I go like this and I'm recording, now you think it's like pro mode and you're paying attention to what I'm doing. The Blackmagic will shoot in portrait mode or landscape when you're holding it vertically, which is awesome. It's super covert. You can also set it up to where you're holding, on a tripod, you hold it vertically instead of having to rotate it over, which tripods, they're always unbalanced, or you always screw around with that. Yeah, the Blackmagic software is fantastic.
Okay, good tips all. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see who's next on our list. And then Paul. Paul is the last person, I think, and then we might do a go back because I'd like to do some more speculation. So, Paul, how you been, man? Where's Paul? Did Paul leave? Prep and
Is
Paul.
that me,
Prep
Paul?
and Paul. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, hey, sorry. I was just texting my wife. She must have had a something happened with her card. They locked her card out for the bank. So
Is your wife in the room with us now? Anything you say?
No,
Are
no.
you safe?
Can I
Are you
speak
safe?
freely?
Can you speak freely? Okay, good.
yes, I can. Just let's see. This week, actually, I had that chameleon sling bag for a while, and I finally made a quick video on it. I just wanted to see how many chameleon antennas and things I could fit in it.
A lot.
So, yeah, it's big. I put way more than anybody's going to use, but yeah, I did that, and then a couple of weeks ago, I used that alpha antenna HOA buster and made some QSOs with my gutter. And so then I thought, I'm just going to start connecting to that thing to all sorts of metal things. So this week I've been connecting it to my wrought iron fence in the backyard and just seeing where I can go with that thing and make QSOs just by clipping it to something metal.
Oh, why not?
So that's probably kind of sometime next week. But yeah, just having fun.
I too have that sling bag, and I've put the adjustable vertical and the tactical delta loop, and I actually extend the elements inside the bag so it stays relatively rigid, because the elements, when compressed, it makes it all floppy on the top end. If you're like using it as a sling bag, you can put a lot in there. I've got both I've got a tripod and the spike and all the other stuff to go along with it too.
Yeah, I don't have any mast to test on the side, so I put a tripod on the side, but I had both matches. I had a bio and a battery. I had all their verticals, their whips, the PRV, that little corkscrew or screwdriver thing.
Yeah.
Some coax. I had one of their wire wheel. I had everything in there. But yeah, it was heavy when I did the final on the video of it. Yeah, it holds a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right. Let's see. Go back up the list here. So Don joined us. Don N5SKT. He's been a busy guy. I'm assuming he's getting ready for his move. But Don, we talked a little bit about speculation, and I know that there was a discussion that Jason had on Flex. What are your thoughts on what Flex is going to drop at Hamvention?
A replacement for the 6700 is my guess. I don't think, like, people are talking about a 9700 killer and all of that. They have a pretty good relationship with Q5 for transverters and so forth. And I don't think, like, the 6600, I mean, will already kill a 9700. I'm sorry. But I don't see that as a, you know, that's going to be the radio. Now, I'm going to be surprised, I know, by whatever, but to me, it's going to be a 6700 replacement, because I don't think they would have dropped that thing unless they had something already in the works. And it will probably be an improvement because there will be some of the technology that they have in some of the military radios, and not so much maybe the military radios, but they have a commercial version of the military radio, and we'll probably get, you know, some of that.
Yeah.
So that's my guess.
Yeah, I like the idea of the transverter, but I think you're right that why mess with something they already got set up? Like there's no reason to get in the way of the business they're already doing there. So yeah, that makes sense. All right. And Quirky QRP James is in the house. How's it going, man?
Hey, Josh, going good. Having some fun during the flare apocalypse today.
Yeah, you're much further north than me. Did you get any good pictures?
Not pictures. I'm hoping tonight, actually, it might light back up again. But no, I made contact with New Zealand on 6 meters today.
Whoa, is it going to light up again tonight?
It's supposed to.
There's a forecast that it might, so we'll see.
Well, I may even get lucky with a shot then. But okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find a dark area and see if it shows up.
Nice, very good. I'll launch my drone. No, I won't. I'm just kidding. That's not legal.
Doing a discount for Hamvention.
Yeah, go mention that to people. Drop the link and then I can pull it up. Is it
Hamvention 2024 is the coupon code. I'll post the link in a little bit. And the giveaways from last week have shipped, so they are on their way. They should have them within a week, I would hope.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you for doing that. We appreciate you. Okay. Was there a go back?
The only thing I was thinking, I had an Aurora related question or comment.
Go ahead.
So, has anyone noticed since this G4 now G5 storm have started that they're getting stations on, say, 20 meters that they normally would never ever see?
Yeah, and my antenna is behaving better down south, even though I'm pointed more to the north right now. It's weird.
You too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not just me, because last night when Simon Hamjazz went live for the Aurora stream, I was playing some FT8 before work, and I was getting I knocked out 5 or 6 new grid squares in Argentina alone, and I never get Argentina, and I was on 15.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, don't want to hear that go over the air. I knocked out 4 or 5 new Argentina grid squares, and then I knocked out, and that was on 15, and then on 15 and 20, I got 3 new grid squares in Australia, and from my QTH, they're outside my skip zone normally, so I just want to make sure it wasn't just me. It was quite interesting.
Super cool. Yep. It's very odd right now because you can see, look at. So let's put this in perspective here. Let me get this out of the way, make it a little bit smaller. So I'm right now, my antenna is pointed towards Maine. I generally leave it pointed towards Maine, and then if I want to do DX, I point it much higher towards the north. That's my beam antenna, right? Which puts more RF in the form of about 12 dB in that direction. Which we could do the calculation on that, right? With my Fisher-Price calculator from earlier. But now, I'm getting picked up in New Zealand and a lot to the south. So I don't know what's causing that. Obviously, I don't know. And also, I'm getting some to the back to Hawaii. It's kind of interesting because normally I won't pick up Hawaii or New Zealand unless I aim at them because they're literally in my null spot right now. They're on the back of the beam.
I will add to that. Unlike you, I'm using infed halfway. It's about 20 feet off the ground. I just work Brazil and then Puerto Rico, and Costa Rica's working me right now. And all of those guys are usually in my skip zone. But if you want to pull up PSK Reporter, put in my call sign /R, or I can drop a link actually for it.
Go ahead.
My loop on the ground, which, by the way, I got the one you suggested that you installed at your place.
Yeah,
absolutely love it.
That's great.
I'm getting stuff that I'm not supposed to be getting even on that.
Oh my God, you got the CIA?
No, the FBI.
Oh, the FBI, good. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I will. I don't know what we're gonna do. I have to get ready. So this weekend is still Mother's Day, so I have 1,000 things I got to do after we wrap up the stream here. I got to go get ready because I do breakfast and I go to multiple mothers' homes that we do stuff for. So I got to make sure I'm ready for that tomorrow. And we have a special thing we do with the kids for Leia that I've got to try and fit in somewhere today or tomorrow. So that should be fun. Always never ending here.
I'll leave it with this on this interesting Aurora propagation. I was hearing, and this is off the receive loop, and I dropped it in the chat. I was hearing New Zealand on 40 meters at 6 a.m. UTC this morning. So what's that, late at night for, now another 4 hours for us, so 11 o'clock at night. I was hearing them on 40 meters this morning, and I as I said, it seems like anything south of Guatemala is outside my skip zone for most bands.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get them at all. So anyway, all right, that's all. I just wanted to see if I was just the only one or if I'm going crazy or what. So thank you.
You are not going crazy. Unless I'm also too going crazy, which is possible. So, all right. Well, thank you. There you go. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go back into the YouTube. So anybody who has a question, make sure you type question or @Ham Radio Crash Course so I can see it, but it doesn't look like we have anything. Somebody did mention that Gigaparts has a $900 mystery box. Oh, what? That's pretty expensive for a mystery box, man.
Yeah.
Robert Sullivan, when you get that, come back and let us know. That's wild. That's wild. No, okay. Just say question in your question, and I'll see it gets highlighted. So just give me the full question. You don't need to wait for me to authorize the question. Just go ahead.
Oh no, I'm in Discord. That's why I was.
Oh, okay. All right, man. You got it, dude. The floor is yours. Go for it.
So this is piggybacking off of a question like a month ago, about I was going to purchase an amp, and you guys were suggesting stuff to me. So I have a guy that's local who I talked to a bunch of local hams. They say he's trustworthy and stuff. It's a 2-owner Mercury 3S, but the dude wants like $2,800 for it.
Oh.
And I've never gone to Dayton, so I'm just wondering if I should just drive to Dayton and look for better deals, or if I should just maybe pick up the amp. I'm just questioning because, like, you can literally buy one new. Obviously, I think Frank said the last time that they were the lead time on it was like 16 months or something like that. But yeah, so I'm just wondering what the deals are like at the Hamventions for like an amp and a tuner.
You're not getting a crazy deal on an amp. Like a brand new amp at Hamvention. You could possibly find a used amp at Hamvention, but then you're playing used amp games, right? You don't know if it's going to work completely.
Well, they have those guys that test. Oh, I'm sorry. They have those guys that test things there at the show, right?
Yeah, but I guess where I'm going with this is like the Mercury, like you said, it's almost that's the retail price for that amp, almost.
You won't find a used Mercury. Period. I just that would be one of the SPE amps. I would think that you might see one of those, and those are not bad.
So how bad are you for this amp? Sounds like you're pretty hot to trot for it.
It's more so the fact that it's local. It's convenient. The dude's literally like 20 minutes from my house.
Can I ask you? I'm sorry to get personal with this question, but like, what's your shack setup like that you need this level of amp? Like, what kind of antenna are you running? What kind of radio? That whole thing.
So right now, I have the 891. I have a 705. I have an FTDX10. I have the DX Commander 9 antenna. I have a 160 and an 80 end-fed half wave. Okay. Later down the line, I will most likely put up a tower at some point. I'm just trying to decide on height of tower, basically. Like I've said previously, I have 8 acres of land, so it's not like land portion isn't the thing. It's how much height I want to get.
I guess the way I look at this kind of stuff is I would rather you explore spending the money at getting better antennas at perfect placements than telling you to go get an expensive amp. In your case, the DX Commander works great with a good amp, so that's fine. But at the same time, like, you've got some land to explore the space on, and you might want to just put a mast up because it's like, yeah, you got some good space to make that happen.
So my thing with masts is like, I've been looking online and I can never find like the right height, I guess you could say, or like the proper, like one that looks like it will do the job, especially for like a large Yagi or something like that, or like even like something to be able to stack multiple antennas on top of.
Oh, you want to do like a stack?
I mean, eventually, but I'm not saying right now. I'm just saying, like, in terms of masts, I have yet to find a mast where I was like, this thing looks like it's sturdy. I might just be looking in the wrong places, though.
Not a mast. The thing about that is, and Josh so succinctly put it in his one of his recent videos. It depends, because the mast. I mean, what are you trying to do with the mast? You typically don't take a mast and put multiple Yagis on it. You would do that on the tower. And so, if you're looking for a mast, like I have a 30-foot mast.
Tower. He meant tower. It was a universal tower.
Oh, tower. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was confused by mast, because no, you're not going to get a mast.
I know what he meant. Yeah, I know what he meant. So, like, you're going to need like a proper, tri-pole mast kind of thing, or tower. At this point, like 50 feet, 100 feet, you're going to have to start, looking into the really. It's going to be expensive. Like, to put up a tower, it's very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that much I know. That's why I'm trying. That's why I was like, I can hear most of the world just on the DX Commander by itself. Mm-hmm. It's just reaching out and getting the people is kind of what's going on right now.
So are you bumping into that? You are bumping into that, where you don't have the power to make the contacts that you're hearing.
Yes, especially on 20. And or if there's a pile up, especially if there's a pile up.
Oh yeah.
That I'm not too much worried about, the pile up part, because that's just, my fault.
What do you say? 2,400 for the Mercury?
28. 27.99.
No, but the used. So he's buying one used potentially. That's what he said.
It's secondhand. It's secondhand, 2 owner, and it was a kit one, not one built by Kevin.
2 owner though? 2 owner?
Yes.
And
that's what the guy told me.
And how much does he want for it?
28. That's what
they
offered
cost.
Him 23.
That's what they cost.
I offered him 23.
I'd stick. I'm with you. I'd come back at So 23, I could probably settle at 24.
Yeah.
And I'll come get it right now with folding money.
Yeah,
and he said no to that.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So I mean,
I would just say hey, look,
let him sit on it.
It's a kit, and it's second owner. That's what I got in for this right now. That's what I got for you.
Mm-hmm.
Got the cash right now, buddy.
Mine is going back to the shop, going back to Kenny. So
yeah, see, that's what worries me about some of these amps. If you let's put it into perspective. And I don't just mean Mercury. I mean all of them, right?
Uh-huh.
So the reality is that when you get into the world of amplifiers, right, it takes the wide market of amateur radio, which is already a small market, and it starts ratcheting it down to a much smaller community where the margins are big for something like an amp, but there's not a lot of people out there, and you're seeing people that are like, I don't know, I've been having some problems with this thing, it's not working so great. It's been interesting, particularly with the solid state stuff. The tube stuff's like dummy stupid and easy in a lot of cases, and like a lot of people can fix an amp, oddly enough, before you could probably fix your radio. But some of this solid state stuff is like, ooh, it's a little more tough.
Kenny will fix mine. Mine was a kit, and I built it, and it went back about a year ago because of a broken on-off switch, and then this time it's a high voltage. So when I turn it on and push the amp into operate, it says high voltage and screams and won't do anything. So they said, yeah, definitely comes back. But what you do is you ship it to Kenny, you pay it to ship it to Kenny. Mine's long out of warranty. But Kenny, within a few days, actually will diagnose and fix it. Generally, he'll replace the parts that are broken and just ship it back to you. And he only charges you for the parts. There's no labor charge. So, so it's fast, and he's obviously it's his amp. He knows exactly how to fix it and rebuild it. So, I have no problem spending a couple of hundred, even a $600 or $700 if it requires it to get that amp fixed, because it works that well.
I think I'd ask myself why the second owner's wanting to offload it.
Yeah. That's
that
an
was my
interesting
main question. Yeah, that was my main question. Like, why? And he said, "Oh, I have two of them, and I want to use
two of them."
Yeah.
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 So
So
I
hey,
have two,
Hey, that's
and
an
I wanna-
answer. That's an answer.
I want to free up the cash for something else. Is basically what he said.
So I was told that the first time I bought an amp, like 8 years ago, I was told that exact same line, and what I got was the one that was rode hard and put away wet. So,
right.
And lesson to learn. So I will not buy another used amp.
Well, I didn't buy my first amp. I actually got rid of a piece of equipment I'll never own again in trade for it.
I
And
know
was
what that
glad-
is.
You do.
I know what that is.
I won't say.
Yeah, okay. By the way, 40 meters seems to be hopping, so we're switching over to 40 meters because I'm getting away from the low bands. 20 meters is too spicy right now.
There's that Israel station that's going off right now. If you can hit them, and Cyprus too.
Oh man, will I get protests if I make a contact with the Israel station?
I will say this. I dropped it in chat too. I switched over to 30. I have not had to call CQ once. I worked one station, and I've gotten like 5 different 5-land stations calling me back.
30's a great band for FT8. It's a fantastic
Yeah. Oh,
band.
yeah.
If you need to flesh out a logbook, put up an antenna for 30. Like a dipole, it just kills. It's great.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a DX Commander or not, but like 30 always seems dead to me from the East Coast.
Now, my DX Commander, like I do 30, and I get, I mean, just like what Frank's doing, it's just like that. I get pileups on 30 coming at me.
I just worked. Let's see if I can bring it back.
So now I need to get on 30 meters and
30
put
is
my antenna back.
30 is really good for FT8. It's really good.
30 is awesome.
Yeah.
30 is awesome. I go there not all the time, but it's a fun band. 80 meter FT's fantastic too.
Yeah.
I'm working stations 1,500 miles out, so
I don't do that.
Yeah, I can't wait to get a better noise floor so I can do 160.
Gosh, you're missing out on 80 meter FT8, dude. There's a lot of really cool DX on there.
I know. But so I
you
think
don't have an antenna for it though, do you?
Oh no, I can put it up. Everybody's probably noticed that like in the last like year and a half I haven't done like live QSO videos other than FT8 and stuff other than the live stream because my noise floor's been through the roof. And I went through and I like 8 times went and sought out and hunted and pounced upon all my noise generators. And finally I broke down and I'm like, okay, we're doing it again. I'm calling the power company. Well, between the 3 years ago when I did it the first time and this time, they just had a hotline for EMF problems. A hotline where you left a number. They called me back the day later and said, we'll send somebody out. And they sent a guy out, like literally, like the crazy amount of like people are hearing this right now. They're like, I'm so jealous right now. This is insane. You got a hotline for RFI problems, dude. And the guy came out. He's like, yeah, I found one pole at least, but I'm going to come out again later this week with like a group of guys and we're going to canvass the whole area. And I'm like, you are amazing. You're my new favorite person. And so the timer started. They're 30 days in on a 90-day FCC deadline to clean up the noise. But they're like, oh, no, yeah, you got tons of noise. I'm like, that's what I've been trying to tell my wife. She doesn't believe me. She doesn't believe me. But, yeah, it's great. I can't wait for a new lower noise floor than what I have now.
It's about time California did something right.
I mean, they're cutting edge in this space. I'm not going to give them credit for a lot of other things, but this is a good way to go. That's for damn sure. Yeah. I'm not even kidding about that.
Don, that's a SoCal only thing. I can guarantee you that PG&E will not. PG&E will not do a diddly squat about it up here. I can no.
Oh my gosh, Jody dropped the hottest meme. The hottest meme for. Look at
hey,
this.
I have a.
Look at this meme.
Go ahead.
Look at this freaking meme that Jody dropped.
Oh, no.
Sorry, great. Mike. I had to pick on somebody.
Oh, my God.
That is so awesome.
Listen, man, I am no stranger to being the scapegoat or the butt of a joke. 44 years of it, brother. You ain't gonna phase me now, man.
That's funny, dude.
That you following behind the wagon is so spot on.
Well, that's how we beacon
Right,
APRS.
You're running along behind Jason's truck.
Oh, that's great. I love that, Jody. I
That's
love
good.
that.
That's really good.
Good job,
Listen,
Jody.
I'm just happy to be included. That's all. That's all I care about.
So after
Josh, can
yeah,
I ask?
please.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I'm going to go to Mesh-tastic in a second because I DX'd some Mesh-tastic today. But go ahead.
I ask just and I don't want to. This doesn't need to go down a rabbit hole.
Oh,
but can I ask like a computer nerd question here that is frustrating, and I'm sure it's frustrating to a lot of us. Why?
Sure, don't buy a Mac.
Oh, shut up, Don.
That's
By
not
the
it.
way, hi.
That's not it.
And screw you.
Hi.
So why can't my radio and my logging software share ports?
Oh, that's a great question, Mike. So it's a serial port that takes control of the device. So if it's a radio,
I understand what it is.
Yeah. So okay, but here's the
Why
answer.
can't they just?
They can. So
Oh,
you use something like Ham Radio Deluxe, which creates virtual COM ports that pretend to be the radio on your other software's behalf.
Windows.
Right. So yeah, that's okay. So I don't know a Mac solution. I don't know a Mac solution for this, honestly.
All right.
But that's
that answers
also
the question.
that's also
All
why I have that's why my Ham Shack computer is still a PC. But believe me, if I could
Well, it's
convert
not
all
a
this
big
over to
deal.
Mac, I would.
All I have to do, and did you hear that, Don? If I could convert this all over to Mac, I would.
Yeah,
all
I
I
love
have to do is go over to my logging software and remember to go into settings and uncheck use cat.
Yeah.
But like every time I open WSJTX, it's like error. I'm like, what the frick is going on?
Yep.
And then after a minute, I'm like, oh, I gotta uncheck that so WSJTX can have rig control. So,
Yeah, so for everybody that wants to do it the non-ham Ham Radio Deluxe way, it's COM0COM. You can create virtual serial ports. So if anybody knows how to do this on a Mac, let me know. Let Mike know because we're interested in it. But yeah, that's generally what I do. Or go ahead, Don. You're going to say use a virtual box.
Well, no. The Flex Radio has software that does it much better than that.
It's a virtual box
called Cat.
Well, I mean, so to be fair to Don, we've already paid Mac tax, the Apple tax. So now we need to pay the Flex tax.
Right.
True.
Right.
We pay. When do we pay the cheese tax? Is that in the middle or?
I pay the cheese tax all the time.
Yeah, but Mike, I mean, to be honest with you, Linux will do it. And if Linux will do it as a Unix system, I would imagine a Mac would do it too.
There's probably a way of doing it.
Yeah, something.
We need KM
Here's the
4ACK.
problem here's the problem when people bring in Linux. Unless you're a computer guy and you know all the things to type in the terminal there.
Yes, I do.
I.e. me, you're not going to be able to do that.
Oh, no. You'd want something that would be automatic and do all of that for you. All I'm saying is there should be a piece of software out there that would.
Well, if it's terminal
There
based,
is.
then you can easily make scripts that'll do it automatically for you without a problem.
Frank found a virtual
There it
serial
is.
port software that's on the Mac
Thank
Store. It's called Serial Tools and Serial on the Mac Store. So you could basically you figure out whatever your 7610's on, just like COM2 or whatever, and you say like I want COM2 to be the mother port, and then all the virtual ports would be like 4 and 6, and it's usually even pairs. Even or odd. So it's like 4, 6, 8, and then that allows you to share the software with the other ports. And it time syncs all of it so that it works it out.
And so I hear Josh volunteering to help Mike
store?
with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, take the link that Frank just dropped. Frank,
Mike, the last tag. Yeah, I tagged you, Mike.
I'm in the wrong chat group. I was talking to snow cones.
He's trying to get that antenna. He's trying to get that antenna, boys.
You shut up, Josh.
You shut your mouth.
Shut up. Josh is like, no, don't send him a broken one.
Send him it broken. Send it broken.
Mike, I thought he was building one just for you and has already tested it.
He is
after Mike turned him down.
He was.
Then he came crawling back.
No, you shut your mouth. If you weren't in the People's Republic of California, I'd come over there and smack you. I'm going to smack you at Ham.
Okay, all right. You smack me
when you get there. So this is a community here. All right, I'm gonna look at it. All right, I'm gonna shut up. Bye.
And Mike, if you have any questions, remember I am Apple based too.
So everybody,
I'm gonna have questions.
Everybody, stay tuned to the resurgence of the doublet. It's gonna happen in the next couple weeks. That's all I gotta say.
Right after Hamvention.
Right after Hamvention, buddy. It's going hot. I would have been out there this weekend, but the damn solar storm prevented me from poding. I will say I absolutely loved using the doublet, and that was in between two huge metal pavilions. It worked great. I was getting New Jersey on 40 meter single sideband and getting 5 nines out of a 100-watt radio, that's just not something I'm doing on a dipole. I'm not ready to stand on the doublet did it, or maybe I just had good luck with solar propagation. But I'm gonna test this some more. It was a very good antenna. I was very impressed.
I guess because Shane was there.
And all I have to say about it is, if Simon could get all those contacts. By the way, he made 50 some odd contacts in 2 parks today, from his canoe. Yeah. You can do it on a doublet during the storm, no problem.
And you know what's cool? So I've got the Pearl 2. And I've got the crazy MFJ with the banana plugs in the back, which has the 4-to-1 built in. Which I don't know that I have a wire interface for that. I may have to get another one. I guess I should do that soon before they run out of wire interfaces for MFJs. And then also shout out to the 705. The AH705 will tune up a doublet. It's got the wire posts. It's designed to take a wire antenna, balanced feed line. It'll tune it up, which is pretty cool.
And if you like the doublet, just think about what it would be like if you had a sky loop.
I know, right? Oh, that's my dream.
Well, I've heard Alex on his, and I can't wait to get one up.
I think I want if I had my way, you got to have a tower. You got to have 100-foot, of course, 100-footer tower, some multi-band Yagi or probably a step IR. I'd like a quad or a. What's the 4 verticals? Damn it!
Oh,
Foursquare. A 4-square and a sky loop. Money, all that. Just you got.
Well, now if you're going to go with a tower, what you want is a tower with a stacked set of Yagis, not just one.
Stacked step IRs, of course, right?
Yes, right.
Come on. How could you not?
Yeah.
Some two stacked Dream antennas. Come on.
Even Whiskey 2 Radio Echo hasn't done that.
No, there's multiple stacked Dream antennas out there. I've seen that.
Yeah, but I mean, he did. I don't think that in what a remote hand radio has a set of stacked step IRs. He has stacked multiband antennas or multiband Yagis, but not step IRs.
Yeah, Adrian. Aiden, I'm turning my dipole right now to you. I'm a dipole on 70 meters or 70 meters, 40 meters, 7 megahertz. God, that's where I'm at right now. Mike is deep in the sauce right now. He's about to download sketchy serial devices.
Here's the problem with me. Frank posted a thread.
Yeah, I know.
He did not post a link that directed me to the software he's talking about.
Well, there was 2. There was Serial or Serial Tools.
Super Serial. Yeah, but that was $40. For $40, I'm going to switch over to my logging software and uncheck that box.
Oh, for $40. For $40, I just... boop.
Yeah, for $40, Mike will just get a Windows computer.
That's a Jacopotamus price right there.
Look,
exactly.
Look.
I'm swinging by Micro Center tomorrow.
Look at that.
It is worth it.
Why?
I might do this after the show.
It has so many serial interactions that I couldn't.
I don't need that though.
Wait, Mike. Wait. Why aren't you just using SDR control directly on your Mac and just connecting the 7610 to the network and being done with it? Then you don't have to do any of this BS.
Way too much credit, Josh.
No, SDR control is remoting software, and it goes over network to the 7610, and it does everything
I understand.
Yeah, it's expensive.
That's $45.
It's expensive. It's more than $45.
So that's a $100 program. So
Yeah.
first off, I don't remote into my computer or my radio. Excuse me.
That's
Why
fine.
not, Michael?
Because when I'm in my
When he's in his Lululemons, I heard that's what he was about to say. Chilling. He's not thinking about radio.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost him. Where'd he go?
Yeah, and to be honest
emails,
with you,
questions, all that stuff, I want to get out of there. It's like, yes, I understand that's cool. Jason KTSG, there's another software out there that's free that you can remote into. But I'm not trying to remote. My simple question, and I prefaced it. I don't want to go on a soapbox. Why can't the two COM ports just talk together? Dude, I'm fine. Just open WSJTX and getting the errors and getting frustrated and why the hell is this not working? And then I'm like, oh, because log is tied
Mike, have you tried Velcro?
I have not tried Velcro, but I have tried hook and loop fasteners. Yes.
I just use the API.
Yeah.
Oh, you just go code your own interface for it? Whoa, that's... Whew.
Yeah.
Well, if you read that thing under serial and you think about Mike and the middle button, it says built for system administrators, you know that's built for Mike, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, Mike's, in all seriousness, I would go with the first one, the serial tools. It is more user-friendly than anything. The serial for $40 is, as Don said, built more for system admin type people.
With all due respect, thank you so much for your research, and I'm going to pass. Back to you, John.
Support OmniRig?
He's on a Mac, guys. That's the fundamental problem. So
conversation's over.
Yeah. Yeah, so everybody who's just catching up with this, he's on a Mac. I'm on a Mac too in my office. And I have not found a really good option for virtual serial ports. It sounds like Frank did, though. It sounds like he might even be using the $40 one. I may have to try this after because, to be honest, I prefer just using my Mac if I can. Or
I don't want to spend $40 to uncheck literally I just uncheck. It's one swipe of my Apple Magic Mouse, actually two, and then I go to rumlog ng settings and I uncheck use cat control, and that's it. So it takes me maybe 2.5 seconds after 5 minutes of me like, why is WSJTX not working? But no, I'm not spending $40. But thank you.
You're welcome.
WSJT send the frequency information to the logging program anyway? What do you even need the cat for?
That's true too. You can pass it over the network.
But you're also talking to me. There's a lot of variables in this, boys.
I'm gonna run to the restroom, Mike. You keep talking about your computer problems. There's a lot of people that want to help you. No, you listen to all of them, Mike. You listen to all of them. I'll be right back.
I hope you have a very enjoyable water break.
It's pretty easy to set up SDR control. There's a lot of documentation on it. And I do believe once you have SDR control running, it presents COM ports.
On the Mac?
I'm going to let you computer nerds talk about it. I'm already over it. So if you guys want to wax intellectual about solutions, that's great. But I'm not your guy. I've said countless times, I am not a computer guy.
Hey, Mike.
Let me emphasize the not. I will have some Smarties. Smarties good. I haven't had those in a while.
Mike, you are a lot smarter than what you give yourself credit for.
But I'm not a computer guy. So when guys come in, well, all you got to do is do this and that and that and that. I don't want any of that shit.
You just want something to work.
Hey,
just want it to work. So for me, what works is I just swipe right on my mouse and uncheck a button. Good enough for me.
Just have Tank Frank remote in and take care of it. There you go.
No.
That'll happen. That'll happen. No. In fact, I'm both of my Evolve computers. So I had the one that I used, but when I bought that Evolve computer, I actually bought two, and one has been in its box since the day I bought it. And when I released the video on Wednesday about the DigiRig, Jason KM4ACK texted me. He's like, "Hey, can I buy that Evolve from you?" So as I was cleaning out my closet tonight to bring to Dayton to give away all the shit, I text Jason back. I'm like, "Hey, do you want 2 of them?" He's like, "Sweet." He's gonna give me $100 for them. You believe that shit?
Oh, nice. I mean, it works. Hey, if anyone's interested, Aruba P41 Echo is on 40 meters right now.
Worked to me already. And I mean years ago.
On
Aruba,
FTA.
Yeah, right. Well, Aruba is kind of fun because I used to know, like, there were 2 or 3 hams in the club that would fly out there every year for a vacation, and they would operate radio while they were out there, so I used to work them all the time.
What's funny is I'm hearing Aruba better than this guy. I don't remember where he is. It's hearing me. He can't hear me. Either that or he didn't have things set up. He's an EL89, and he's just not sending a Roger.
All right, I'm back. All right.
Roger.
Okay.
Roger.
Just need to force it, Frank. Just do the next segment. Sometimes it sticks.
Yeah,
Give
that's
him
what I just
3 and log it and move on.
Yeah.
Are we on 40? Are we on 40 meter FT8 now?
Yeah, 40 meters is good right now.
All right.
Oh, and Josh, I sent you the exact timestamp of your contact with Simon today.
I saw that. Yeah,
link.
thank you. By the way, good job on him with the AI. Simon has been posting some really good videos. He's hustling the ham radio space right now. Dude's in a boat, like he's coming up with all these crazy ideas for antennas. I love it. And he's using them. He's actually effective using them, which is really cool.
Well, I built that tarp antenna, and it does work. I like it.
Yeah, it's I love that. And the whatever he did on the boat today, which I don't know if he really showed, like, diagrammed it out for people, but he had a huge pileup constantly. It felt like for 30, 45 minutes straight, he had a massive pileup on that boat.
I'll tell you exactly what it was. He used his, I do believe it's the Wolf River coil, 17-foot vertical with what he's called, what he calls the squiggly. Don, what does he call them? I've forgotten now. But it's 16 Ethernet wires spread out at 8'9" lengths, and he had them dropped into the water across the bow of the boat there and into the water, and he absolutely rocked it, as you said. I just took a look at the logs because I don't know if you heard it. I was logging for him as he was making the contacts. Yeah. When he does like the running and poding during a live stream or the boating and whatnot, I fire up Ham RS or Polo and I log for him so that he doesn't have to go back. He doesn't have to go back.
That is next level, that he's got somebody logging for him. I didn't know about that. That's like performance enhancing drugs for POTA. That's what that guy's doing right now. I don't know about all that.
I just do it voluntarily if I'm around. He never asked me to do it, nothing. I just I'll make it easy for him. I did it one time and he's like absolutely fantastic. Anyway, he made 60 contacts between the 2 parks because he boated across the harbor to another park, which was actually a twofer.
Now, was that salt water that he was on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder. Okay, yeah. That explains the whole thing.
So that 100 watts was more like a kilowatt.
Exactly.
Dropping into the water make the water a ground plane?
Yes, because salt water is very. I mean, you don't even hardly have to be in the water to get that.
Yeah, it's conductive. It's better. Yeah. It's better conductive than like the soil I've got here in Southern California. Well, actually,
cool.
I don't know if that's true, but yeah, no, it's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah. All you got to do to learn stuff like that is watch Callum.
So I think we've got some time. Let's take some other questions if we have them, and make sure you. Oh, Corpse Lot. Hey Josh, how's it going? Random question: is POTA limited to HF, or are there any operators who try to activate parks on VHF, UHF? So I have before, in a similar game called Summits on the Air, have used VHF to finalize and close out some contacts. Actually, I activated a whole summit just on VHF, but that's only 4 contacts versus 10. And I live in an area with lots of radio operators on simplex, so it's not hard for me to do that. So you'd have to have down in Dayton you wouldn't have a problem. If you got your antenna high enough, you'd be okay.
At Dayton, we went to Lake Louisa State Park, and there was enough people there that everybody got park to park full UHF activations or VHF activations.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we've been out with the club a couple of times with technicians, we just, send them around the park and they all work each other, and, that you get 10 technicians, you're done. Or even, it doesn't even have to be 10 technicians. You just have 10 hams out there, and you got it made. And I've completed 2 activations where, it was a real struggle that particular day to get contacts, and I finished the thing out by getting on 146.52. I can't talk tonight, and finished out a POTA that way. So, yeah.
So an activation counts in the same park?
Yes. Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
So I have a comment as well.
We got a number of questions, too, that we got to get to on the YouTube chat. So go ahead with the comment, and then we'll take the questions.
All right. So for Corpse Lot, I've actually been to High Point and Sunrise Mountain. You can 1,000% make simplex contacts all the way down as far south as Lehigh Valley and all the way north as New York, especially if you have a Yagi antenna like an Arrow.
Is Lehigh like a Mormon thing?
It's down toward I don't think it's Mormon. I think it's Native American, but because a lot of those areas are like Native American names and stuff like that.
Okay, that makes more sense. I'm like, whoa, okay.
But the other thing is, there's some parks that you can only activate UHF VHF one, like Ellis Island. Ellis Island, you're not allowed to bring in anything but a handheld radio.
That is not true.
You have to supposedly, from what I've been told from people who've actually activated Ellis Island, you need a special permit if you're going to bring in anything else, because wire and rope are 2 of the things that are banned.
Well,
from bringing into Ellis
what
Island.
if you just tune up the Statue of Liberty?
Okay, they were just on a live stream the other night. There is a ham. Josh, you weren't in there yet last night. It was Craig.
WJ6F.
Okay.
He has activated Ellis Island. So if you go back to Jason's live stream last night, he talked about activating Ellis Island with HF.
Yeah, just do a freestanding vertical then.
Well, during that stream, Josh, I did think that I may fly over there and use that HOA buster and just click it onto her toe and see what it does.
Yeah. Tow it up.
Always be towing.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. There's a number of questions. Let's blow through these as fast as we can here, because I got a couple of hell techs to build here real quick. I have a mesh-tastic hardware question, more of a connector question. I am not finding the UFL to SMA. Not able to find those. Any suggestions on a source? Like, are you talking? Yeah. They're on Amazon. So if you just let's see. If you go. Actually, I think if you just type in Helltech SMA. Yeah, so like all of these antennas have the Apex. It's IPEX connector. So then if you were so inclined to say, see, every one of these will work. So if you're so inclined to say.
Your chat is blocking half your screen there.
No, it's IPEX. I mean, you guys can type it in. Jesus Christ. IPEX to SMA. There it is. Bazinga. Look at that one. There's a whole pile of them. Yeah, there you go. I hate that connector, by the way. I hate that IPEX connector. It's the worst thing ever. I hate them. I've bent a couple of them, and they're just done. It sucks. And I can't get this thing. Like, it literally won't even let me click on this Google thing. Can I just refresh and you go away? Nope. You're stuck there forever. Okay. Yeah, so you do that. That's all you got to do. IPEX to SMA. So I think you might have said the wrong thing. Oh, here's a good one. We're definitely going to let Mike chime in for this one. Question, FT891 or G90 for mostly SSB operation, maybe digital at a later date. 891. Just 891.
891.
Yeah, you got to give it a resonant antenna, and the digital interface is like okay, but to be honest, the digital interface for the G90 is not much better.
The digital interface with the G90 on a Mac is a nightmare. You have to use if you're using the DigiRig, you've got to use FL Rig to make it work. So you need like a tertiary software, if you will.
Tertiary, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're bringing out the big words. It's late night.
I like it.
But if you can afford the extra couple $100 for $891,
yeah,
there's no comparison.
Yeah,
none.
Mm-hmm. All right, so next one, bang for your buck. Buddy Hex versus the DX Commander Expedition. So straight up, if you're getting a Buddy Hex and you're not getting it with the MastWorks mast system, then it's kind of like, why? And if you're getting it with the MastWorks, it's like $1,200. And the DX Commander Expedition is like $300. So bang for your buck is the DX Commander Expedition.
Well, not only that,
plus, do you want to be... Go ahead, Don.
Well, I was going to say, the Buddy Hex ends at 20 meters, and you can get an Expedition up to 40. So why not?
Yep, that's true.
Plus, do you want to be on the air in 15 minutes, or do you want to be on the air in like an hour?
Yep, that is also true.
True.
Yep, and that's legit. Like it's 15 minutes for an Expedition, and it's an hour to get a DX.
And that hour is with people helping you.
The only time I need help is if when I'm gonna put the mast up and it's windy and I want them to hold the guy line. That's it.
Yeah.
I can do the whole thing by myself.
At Huntsville, I did it all myself. Taking it down, I had two guys helping me because it was so freaking dark. But other than that.
Okay. So yeah, if you have a question, just ask the question and put question in there at Ham Radio Crash Course. So what mast would you guys suggest? And this goes back to our mast topic earlier. Well, it depends on what you're putting up and how much you want to spend. So you need to tell us how much you want to spend and what you're trying to put at the end of it. If it's just a wire, go buy a Soda Beams mast. They're great.
Yes,
Paul,
it would be a directional antenna.
Let me chime in, Josh.
Woo! Okay. Yeah, we got a lot of people that have thoughts on that one. Go for it.
I have word from a vendor. That there's going to be a new mast debuted at Dayton.
Is it possibly a G vendor?
I can neither confirm nor deny these things, but
okay.
I would go with
something will be happening.
Something will be happening. Okay. If
so
they
would
keep
be
it
a
within
directional antenna, though. Sorry, Josh.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah, that was me.
So you said mast again instead of tower.
No. I meant mast this time.
So you literally mean a pole that you put a Yagi on?
Yes.
No,
it would be some kind of directional.
No, you can do that. You can do that.
You can, like a two-element.
Rowan makes masts for that purpose.
A two-element, sure. And a small, maybe a small single-band 3-element.
Those Rowan masts are pretty damn tough, and you can put. I've seen 3-element Yagis on top of them.
Ping Dawn, drop the link for the Roan you recommend. I have a Roan push-up 40 or 50, I think, and I don't think I'd put a Yagi on that. That's me personally, because again, my ass pushing that thing up. That's a pain to put up a 3-element Yagi on that. Like push it up. That's gonna suck.
That part, there's no argument.
Okay,
but it does hold it, right? You guy it every like 10-foot section.
It's guyed out pretty heavy.
That's true.
So Paul Caraway asks, so I have a balcony to work with for an antenna. Not real sure where to go with. I'm a newbie without a license and working to see what makes sense. Well, I mean, need more information. So if you got a balcony, you can easily put up a VHF, UHF vertical or a VHF, UHF antenna of some kind to be able to get on repeaters if you're in and around a repeater area. If you mean HF, you're way more limited with that. So it's going to depend on how big your balcony space is. And again, like, you know, what your goals are. So you'd have to come back with how much you want to spend and what frequencies are you trying to hit.
Are they in an HOA as well?
Yeah, he didn't mention HOA. So question, what experiments are you all doing with the solar storm? I'm not experimenting at all. I'm trying to make contacts, and then I'm going to be I gotta knock out some mesh tastics here, which I'm going to show you guys how to flash the firmware real fast, because it's a breeze. It's simple. But first we're going to throw some batteries in these things and get them hooked up. I think I got one that I can build right now.
Isn't playing FT8 during the solar storm technically experimenting?
Yeah, maybe.
I think it is. That's just me.
Let's see. Snowcones is cracking me up, man. I'm getting messages from, for the love of God, keep it under 5 feet of coax between the ballad and the tutor. Okay, I got it, man. I got it. You're in there. So you're saying 25 feet of coax, right?
So I'll connect my Potaflex 650-foot run before the Ballon.
Right,
is that what he's saying?
That's right.
Okay, got it.
Where's Paul? Paul's in the chat. Paul, we haven't heard from you in a while. Are you there, bud? I know he's in the voice chat, but I don't know if he's on voice right now. He's probably hanging out with his lovely wife, and they're having a good time. Paul, we miss you, buddy. We miss you. Sorry you can't make it out to Hamvention.
I don't see him in the voice chat.
He's Prep Ham Paul. Oh no, different Paul. That's a different Prep Ham. Ah, my God, it's different Paul.
Yeah,
that's Ham Radio Pen Pals. That's right. Jeez.
That's
Sorry,
what I thought you were talking about earlier when you said Paul.
No. Sorry. Anyway, Paul, we miss you, buddy. Let's see. Question: those soda beams or whatever mass, how do you attach the wire to that small? I am so glad you asked. I'm so glad. I'm so freaking glad. Because I'll tell you again what my favorite thing is. My favorite absolute thing. All right, I got one. I literally just, yep, there it is. I got it. Here it is. Ta-da! This is it. This is the secret for all your telescoping
I have a
poles.
bunch of those, Josh. But there's nothing on there to connect it to.
You slide it through the damn hole.
Well, it's a big hole. It's going to slide down like three sections on the mast.
No, it's not. Which mast do you have?
No, I'm just looking at that POTA compact lightweight 10-meter travel mast, $90. There's nothing on the top to connect it to.
Yeah, you just find the smallest hole that you put the rod through.
Oh, like one of the plastic holes in there, not the big. It'll fit on those little teeny plastic holes.
What are you talking? Okay, drop the link to the mast you're talking about. No, he said soda beams. Soda beams is a vertical mast, and you slide it down the top section of the telescoping mast.
Where'd you learn that, Josh?
Well, I think another one.
I did this. I don't know that I learned.
One of you guys were talking about the.
I don't think I did.
DX engineering mast.
If I
a couple
did,
weeks ago.
full credit to Mike. If that's where it came from, full credit to Mike, K8MRD.
The drilling the hole through the center of that carabiner there. Yeah, that's me. The putting the soda beams carbon 6 through that little small thing there. Yeah, that's me.
So you're drilling
then
a little
let's
bit
give
bigger
all
hole
credit
to
to Mike.
slide it on the
Everybody.
top.
Everybody should give the internets, give all the how many internets? This is like a
I'm gonna need like 2.6 million internets.
No, you know how you like go to Bandcamp if you want to download a track and then they let you set the price. I want everybody in the chat to tell. I want you to give the internet credits to Mike, however many internets you think he deserves for the S-Beaner, because it's a true innovation in the space of it truly is. I'm not even being sarcastic or anything about this. Like, if that's where I got it from, which, you know what, let's give it all the credit. How many internets in numeric form?
5,000.
5,000 easily. He's trying to get to 26.
That's a little high. That's a little high.
Okay.
5,000 is a little high.
Oh, you're
350.
350.
I mean, per person.
Per person. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little high.
Okay, so with that, with those little carabiners, because I got a pack of 10 of those. Mike, you're saying you drill a little bit bigger hole in it so it fits, just slides on top, right?
Well,
it's like the
first two.
The first.
So
segment.
it depends on the kind of mast that you have. So a few years ago, I did a lot of hiking, and I brought my 705 and the Soda Beams Carbon 6. Josh, if you'd be a lamb and hold up that S-Beaner again.
It's
a
on his
very small hole.
Okay, so it fits on the hole that's already there.
The holes that are already there, that very small hole, maybe the middle one, I would just slide that over the Soda Beam's carbon 6.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
so
it wouldn't be on the top section, but it would be on like the second one. Okay,
got it. Okay,
yeah.
But then I was like, well, I like this idea of how I'm deploying this mast because, like, I don't want to. You know, I'm a simple person. Okay. What's the easiest way to get something accomplished? Don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple, stupid, right?
That's right.
So I saw the middle of that S-Beaner, and I'm like, well, I want to use my DX Commander Expedition mast or my Pactena mast, the 10-meter mast. They're both exactly the same thing. But those holes in that S-Beaner are a little too big. So I drilled a hole right through the middle of that S-Beaner, just big enough to put my DX Commander Expedition mast through.
Got it. Okay.
And that's how I hold up, like, any video you see of me where I'm, like, leaning a mast into a tree, that's how I'm deploying it. The end of the wire is just in those holes, and then the hole in the middle that I drilled out, that's how I stick that carabiner, or that S-Beaner, whatever you want to call it, onto the mast.
And if you're on Amazon, they come in flat dark earth, too, or FDE.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Okay,
I developed that method because these masts didn't have a ring or a hook or anything on top to hang anything from.
Yeah,
so
I've not understood.
Out of pure hamgenuity and being that, like, I'm the guy, I'm the portable operator. Now there's millions of them, but there weren't before. So I had to kind of figure stuff out. So quick. I had to figure it out. So there you are. Now you have the S-Beaner.
You crawled so other portable operators could walk, Mike. Let's just say that right up front. There you go.
So watch any early POTA video and you'll see.
Between the DX Commander fiberglass mast and the Soda Beams, are they basically the same, or do you see one above the other, and why?
DX Commander's way taller. The base section's way taller. The Soda Beams I could put in a backpack.
Yeah, there's a compact one for like $95, 10 meters. Tiny. So would you say DX is better, stronger, anything, or are they fairly equal?
DX is going to be stronger with the amount of segments and how thick they are.
Well, is there another? There is a Soda Beams 10-meter mast, though. I feel.
Yeah, there is. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I think that one, the Pactena that I have, and the DX Commander. They all collapse down to like 60 centimeters.
Okay.
Which is just shy of 2 feet. They're all kind of the same darn thing. Okay. I've got the Pactena and I've got the DX Commander. I don't have the Soda Beams, but I've seen it. We're not talking about the Carbon 6. We're talking about the 10-meter mast.
There's a compact, lightweight 10-meter. That's
So if it collapses down to like 60 centimeters, they're all the same damn thing.
Can I ask like, are you what kind of portable are you doing? Are you putting this in a backpack, or are you just going out the back of the trunk?
Yeah, it would basically be something that I could put in a backpack, and it would be like you guys are doing in POTA, leaning it up in a tree. Okay. And so I was trying to. This is my next purchase.
The sweet spot is going to be like the tactical mini. Then you don't trust me. I've backpacked with a jack height pole before there was a DX Commander or a Soda Beams, and that thing I hung it up on everything. Like it was 2 feet above my head, catching on every damn thing that was in the brush. So the tactical mini, most backpacks, it has to go in a water bottle pocket. You need to be able to like wrench it down with some kind of a retention system. The Carbon 6 though will go into pretty much any backpack, and you can carry it anywhere. And they're like $60 each one. Any one of them $60.
And that 20 feet, but sufficient for getting out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Carbon 6 is very flimsy though. So if you're using like an end-fed 26 gauge wire, you're not going to have a problem with the Carbon 6. Even if you go out,
So
now,
the Carbon 6 is great, but if you want something a little more rigid, I just posted in the Discord. There's my my Gigaparts Explorer bag.
Is the tactical mini a little stronger than the Carbon 6?
The tactical
I
mini
don't have
is stronger.
experience with the tactical mini. But the tactical mini, if you're looking on Discord, I just put a picture in there.
Got it.
That's the new DX Commander Expedition mast.
All right.
Oh, that's small. That is small.
Soda beams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, it's 60 centimeters collapse, which is just under 2 feet. It's 19 and it's 23 and a half centimeters.
Give me a minute. I'll go grab both of them because the
comparing
difference.
That to the Carbon 6, the Carbon 6 is very flimsy. Very flimsy.
Yeah,
that's for very lightweight stuff.
Since I'm handing out internets, K6ARK gave me the hottest tip was you take all those elements in the end of the antenna that you can't really use to put a wire up because they're like it's a fishing pole. Spoiler alert, it's a fishing pole. You take some super glue, put a couple dabs of super glue, and then nest all the end elements together, so like one, maybe two elements, and that increases the rigidity a ton. So the Carbon 6, the end element, it's unusable. But if you super glue it into the element below it, it increases the rigidity of the one below it, which makes it way stronger. Way. And in fact, I'll go get it. I'll go get both of them. I'll be right back. 1 second.
While you do that, Paul, I do have a question for you since you're asking all these mask questions.
There we go.
Are you going to be using this with any of the coffee and ham radio antennas that you have?
Well, I've made my own, and I have theirs. I have the Cartena Aries. I've got the little bug out mini from I forgot his call sign now. Shoot, he just streamed earlier. So it's I think they're all pretty much 26 gauge. It's not heavy duty end-fed wires. It's I use 26 gauge for my own, but I don't want something that's going to be half bent over because it's so flexible.
The Carbon 6 will be half bent over.
Yeah, I don't think I want that.
I love the Carbon 6, but I bring that with like my 705, my 818 when I'm kind of like you're going to sacrifice height for portability. There's always a compromise. So that's where I use the Carbon 6.
And I was also asking that, Paul, because the length will also matter. If you use, one of their antennas, it's a little longer, so you'll want, the 10-meter mast at, 28 or 32 feet or whatever it is. You don't want anything shorter, especially if you get the Poseidon. You definitely want something that's at least 26 feet tall.
Yeah, I won't get the Poseidon, but so there's Josh. So that tactical mini definitely looks a little bit more robust. It's at least longer, perhaps thicker.
I'll show you the elements too. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But
so the difference in weight, since
meters versus 10 meters.
Yeah, and I'm not hiking. I'm not backpacking in. This is mostly going to be drive up, go to a campground, and do it like everybody else for the most part.
You do not want the Carbon 6 for what you're doing.
Yeah. So okay.
Now the other sub-beams that Josh is pulling out. But that or the DX Commander, the same darn thing.
Okay.
So
but
this
20
is the
feet
end
really
element.
is enough for doing like end feds and stuff like that.
That's 30 feet that he's showing. The Carbon.
30. Okay.
Yeah.
So
10
FYI,
meters, 30, like 33 feet or something.
So the tactical mini, this is not one of the zhuzhed S cables. So like it won't even go through one of the holes. You do have to drill out the S beam.
Got it. Yep.
This is the end element, and it's pretty rigid. I'm having to give it a pretty good push to do that.
Yeah.
On the flip side, the Carbon 6, this is the end element. It's much smaller, but this one has the end of the previous element glued in the middle, and it's more rigid than the tactical mini. And this goes, it should. Oh, it did. It's not doing it now. So this also has to be drilled. But
you got to use the mic technique.
Am I missing an element? Oh, I might have got an element glued in. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's probably what happened.
So you guys suggest the 10 meter.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So sorry, this is the end element. This end element has the other element, the smallest element, slides right over. And then you get to the end of the element, and then that's where it stops. It stops.
I got it. And it's more rigid there, I see.
Yeah. And that's where you want the rigidity to be anyway.
Okay. Sorry to take up so much time, guys.
No, it's this is a really good point. And by the way, the other thing is pop a hole and then throw some line in a washer through the cap, and then I hit that with super glue, and then that way you don't lose it.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to get one. I didn't want to make multiple purchases, trial and error. So you guys do all this stuff, so I thought I'd ask.
This one needs to be retaped, and I got to pop a hole in it, do the whole 9 yards. But to be honest with you, there's so many times that I'm traveling like in a suitcase, and the Tactical Mini does not go in a suitcase like a rollerboard. I end up with the Carbon 6 a lot of times.
Got it. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Indeed.
I just posted a pic with the carabiner.
Yeah, I see
in
that.
the center, and I do not super glue. That's the very top of the antenna.
And that's the DX commander.
The tippity top.
That's the yeah. It's the same thing though, but that's the very top element. Maybe it's about 6 inches down from the very top element where that picture is.
And it's the 10 meter.
Yeah. And that would be that, and remember that would be 4 meters taller than the 6 meter.
Yeah, I was looking at the 10 meter is what I was looking at, assuming that would be kind of the best height to get something up to.
It can be, yeah.
But what Josh is saying about trees, and I mean, I guess it could be difficult in some areas to try to get it up that high, perhaps. But
I hate stuff above my head. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it when I'm hiking because I catch it. No, it just pisses me off.
Got it.
Particularly when you're getting out of there at the end of the day and you got to lug this crap out of there and you're tired and you snag a branch and you're like, God, I'm going to throw this in the river.
Hey, Mike, is that last element tapered or what keeps it from sliding down?
It's at the other element. It's at the junction between the next element.
Well, every element is tapered, a telescopic mast. So I just drilled a hole in the center of that S-beaner, just enough so it'd go as that. And again, that is the very top section of the mast, and it's only about 6 inches down. I drilled a hole just big enough to where it would go down there, and as the mast expands, it just stops there. Like, you can't push it down anymore. So that's what I do. If you watch my YouTube channel called Ham Radio Tube, you can see many videos where I use that setup.
Really? You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, just a little one.
I used to watch an old one called KMRD, but I don't know where he went. He disappeared.
There's a little blooper at the end of Monday's video where I'm like, hey, thanks for tuning into K. Oh wait, this isn't K at MRD radio stuff anymore. So just like POTA, where like some of us are still getting used to the K versus US. Same thing.
Mm-hmm. So there was a question from JSA Hookah. I have an FTM 500 installed mobile to use a local fusion repeater, which has wires X. Other than inputting the repeater's frequency into the 500, what settings and steps are needed to join a room? Well, that depends on the repeater. So you have to look up the repeater, and if there is an offset, you need to plug in the offset. If there's not, and a lot of the wires X ones that I've been on don't have it, if you hit the G button, it'll try to establish a connection to it, and if that works, then you're done. That's it.
On the FTM 500, the DX button is what you press and hold to get the rooms.
Oh, is that what it is now? It's not G. Yeah. There's no G button.
There's a G.
Oh,
there's
G.
a GM button, but the DX button is what you want. Because I have.
Oh, that's my bad. Yeah. So whatever the wires X button is, push that. And then that should work. And if it doesn't work, then go look up the repeater and see if you have to change it. But that's all human changeable. So like I can't tell you what the right answer is because it'll depend on your repeater.
And you used to
I gave him some answers in the chat there.
Well, you used to be able to get up a list of the rooms that were currently active and click on them and do all kinds of stuff. But they shrunk the screen on the 500, so you can't do that anymore.
But it's got a big head, Don. It's got a very big head.
Don, I can scroll through the rooms no problem.
It's not, Frank, you're not seeing the whole thing.
You're not. Yeah. So Johnny.
Okay,
Johnny has a question. We're moving on. Johnny has a question. Is there a good mobile, multi-band HF antenna option that isn't as expensive as a screwdriver, like the ATOS? I plan to use a G90. From Tom, KN6IPZ. So, yeah, you can get a Wolf River coil and just mount it kind of like a hamstick on the back of your roof, and then you will have to go in there and manually adjust it for the bands you want to do. But if you want to sit in your car and adjust the frequency by moving the antenna, it's a screwdriver. That is the solution. The ATOS is expensive. Tar Heel has other options that are less expensive, but at the end of the day, screwdriver antennas are kind of expensive for what they are, and that's just kind of the reality of it for multiband. Otherwise, you could have a quiver of ham sticks in your trunk that you just swap out to that are tuned up and ready to go. Don loves the ham stick, here. Right? Oh yeah, go for it.
Oh hell yeah!
It's just to add to that. So I'm looking to add it to my Jeep and driving around. I don't want to be fiddling all the time, taking stuff off, putting it back on. So I'm looking for something somewhat durable.
Are you going to be bashing into stuff and actually off-roading?
Occasionally.
So
I try not to, and
is this a mall crawler Jeep or an off-road Jeep?
No, I go off-road.
So honestly, like ham sticks are cheap, and you can tune up. You can have one tuned up for 20, 40, 10, and just swap them out. The thing with the screwdriver is if you hit it, you're gonna probably damage it. It's gonna get damaged.
Is it a Rubicon or not a Rubicon?
No, it's a Rubicon.
Nobody drives Jeeps.
Tunable are those ham sticks using an internal tuner?
No, they're not. You tune them to resonance and then they're done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you before you go out in the field, in your driveway, you set that thing up and you tune it by manually, like looking at the SWR and then manually adjusting the stinger. And then once you lock it into place, you're done. You don't have to do anything to them unless you damage it.
Okay, so if I got like a 10-meter ham stick, it should still be.
You got to tune it. You still have
20?
to. No, absolutely not. You
not even
you
with
don't
the
use
G90? No.
you don't use the tuner on a ham stick. It's a resonant antenna. It's not a multiband antenna. So you would have to get a 20-meter ham stick to go with it.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's kind of like if
you
had like
six of those sticks and just line the back of the Jeep with them.
I mean, at the point. So I mean, this is the question you have to ask yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can get all the bands of ham sticks, and that will cost you what a ATOS 120 costs. But if you go with the ATOS 120, that's going to be a much more fragile antenna if you ever hit it or whatever, right? So a ham stick is $60, and it's like, oh crap, I got to buy another ham stick and tune it up. What's my time worth, kind of thing. But if you smack a screwdriver, you can rebuild them. You can. They're not that complicated, but it's still like a way more costly item to be messing around with.
Yeah,
but there's a whip that goes on the top of that as well, right? So if the screwdriver portion was, let's say, behind the back window, it's not going to be getting smacked by branches and stuff. Just the whip on the top would be.
I don't know, man. You got to tell me what you get into. I don't want to assume.
Yeah, and Sean, ham radio dude, actually built a ham stick commander, which literally was a multi-band ham stick holder. That was pretty cool.
That looks interesting for the house, but no, I was curious. Like the whip on top is pretty flexible.
Yeah, it is.
Correct for the screwdrivers.
It's insanely. Yeah, I mean, all whips are pretty insanely flexy when you get down to it.
Right. Well, I was leaning towards a ham stick, but now you put me right back on. Now looking at screwdrivers again.
Well, the only downside that you're going to have is then you're also going to have to factor in, like, is this the Tom from the Camp Out Tom?
Yep. With Conan. Yep.
Yeah, your voice. I was like, oh, this is the Tom. Okay. Yeah, man. So the downside that you're going to have is if you have a G90, you're going to have a tuning device. You're going to have a switch in between the line somewhere to the antenna that will tell the antenna to slide up or down. Only the Yaesus have the built-in capability to tune the ATOS.
Yeah, and then that adds cost too.
Right, and now that our wonderful company MFJ has decided to slow things, bring things down, they were the one that we pointed to like that they had the Switch. So, yeah, I don't know where you get the Switch now.
Okay, adding one more aspect into this question.
Hang on. The Tar Heel, like if you get a little Tar Heel 2, that's probably let's say $550 ballpark.
Okay.
It does come with a switch. It's just a very basic switch. It's an up and down, and you can control the antenna with that. You just have to, say you tune it on 20 meters, you just have to raise the antenna up until you hear the loudest noise by pushing the button. Key up, whistle into it, hit AM or FM or CW, whatever, and use that up and down button and until you get the lowest SWR. Or you can spend a couple $100 more to get an actual control box for it. So your entry level's like $550 for a Tar Heel. $550 to maybe $900 for some of the really more high-end controllers for it. The ATOS is $400, but they kind of only work with Yaesus. Like there are boxes that you can get to control them for non-Yaesu radios, but yeah, ham sticks are what, $30-$40 maybe each band.
Depends.
So if you're just looking to get into it, just buy one or two, maybe a 40 and a 40 and a 20 or a 40 and a 50, whatever the hell bands you want. They're cheap.
Right.
And then see, but you're probably going to want, once you do that, you're going to be like, I need more than the G90 for this though too. So
yeah,
it's a rabbit hole.
So here's the last aspect, and then I'll hand it back over, and then I'll be done. I promise. Mainly I'm looking to add the HF in the Jeeps when I'm off-roading, overlanding out in the middle of nowhere, out of UHF distance, stuff like that. Use it in emergency situations. So what band or bands would you suggest having? And then this way I could keep like one or two ham sticks.
10, 20, 40.
Yeah, the true answer to that is it depends.
Yeah, I mean, but 10, 20, 40 is what I would say. That one I don't have a problem with giving an answer on.
Well, the only thing about it is you have to consider nighttime, daytime. And 40 is good at night, but and 20 is kind of all day. And then 10 would be definitely only daytime. So.
Yeah, 10, 20, 40.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks.
Now, if you have the mindset of while you're doing this that you get a very rigid mount that could accept a screwdriver in the future, that is like future-proofing your decisions here. So if you get to a point where you're like, I'm gonna put the best, like one of the best possible mounts I could on the Jeep that's gonna be really, really rigid and strong, that if I did upgrade to the screwdriver, I wouldn't have a mount that starts like, the antenna starts folding back on you kind of thing as the wind starts hitting it. That would be a good idea. This is where I would spend the money, is on the mount.
Yeah, and I plan on working that steel bumper or steel tire rack type thing.
Perfect.
So sky's the limit.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Well, I gotta head out of here soon, but I gotta get this this Heltec going. So we're gonna get these masks out of here.
Oh yeah, that.
What? Oh yeah, that what?
The Heltec.
Yeah, real quick. So let's see. So we got our working note. Oh, by the way, this is kind of funny. While I was DXing, hold on, let me. Yeah. So I'm gonna focus. Can we focus? So 60 kilometers. Keith, I don't know who Keith is. Mount Washington, which I believe is like up north of me, or it's either up north or down south. Yeah, so I took this out driving today, and with this antenna, I was killing it out there. It was doing great. Okay, so I have, where did it go? Where am I?
Mount Washington is just off the 5 and 110 on the other side of Dodger Stadium.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I was getting like a straight shot to them, but they don't have GPS enabled, so I wasn't able to see like where they were actually at.
Did you ever get one of those rack kits?
I do. I have a rack. I have another one coming pretty soon here.
Yeah. Did you ever get how the solar worked on it?
On my new one, it works fine. You don't have to do anything. It just feeds right into it.
Oh, okay. Because I've run mine for days and days and days, but it never seems like it's getting charged at all.
So I wanna show something really fast. The reason why these rack boards the Heltechs are so good is that they will charge lipos off of the USB-C, which is just awesome. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the biggest things about them is that they work off of USB-C. So I have
you can get a solar panel with USB-C on it.
No.
Oh, come on, Josh.
I wouldn't use this for that. I wouldn't use this for that. I would use a different unit.
Yeah,
I would use the rack.
That's the reason. Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to get a couple of those racks because I want to see what I can do on that property I've got.
All right. So Mike was talking about getting rid of the supports. So I'm clearing out supports right now.
Oh, I did it. I managed to. Well, I saw the picture. I'm printing the second one now.
I just kind of like manhandle it and break all the stuff up because as this model's like really really nice. By the way, the developer who came up, the person who came up with this this design, he was on my live stream that we had on the Mesh Tastic updates. So there's the SMA connector hogged out a little bit, and there's a couple more here. So I just kind of go in there and like crunch them, and then just rip it out.
Most of this is not on camera, Josh.
What? Oh,
move your hand up.
Yeah, your hand is too low.
Zoom out a little.
That's better.
Yeah.
Hey, Don.
Yeah.
Hey, most of the kits I have, this is Bill, K0WHW, Ham Radio Tectonics. Most of the kits I have are rack kits. I have a few of everything, but the rack, I've had a lot of experience with the rack, and they do really well. And so you have the battery charger the battery connector on one side, and then a smaller solar connector on the right-hand side. And the best I've seen with that is I've got one of the solar panels that are like 4x3 or something like that. Is it will delay even in full sun, it will not keep the system going for days and days on end. It extends it by some. So it depends on the panel. So I've got one with a bigger panel and one with the smaller panel. So if you're having problems with the smaller panel, mine just extends the life of the battery. It doesn't really keep it fully topped up and charged every day.
Yeah, and the thing is that and I don't know if you saw Josh's live stream, but we bought the kit that the guy had pre-assembled that had, that basically everything in a nice waterproof cavity or a cat deal. And so I can literally sit it out on my front porch in the sun for about 2 weeks. But, and then you've got to bring it back inside to plug it into USB to charge the battery back up to full. Because that's exactly what's happening. I was expecting to get a lot longer battery life out of it.
Well, you can bypass that with a bigger panel.
I didn't catch the whole live stream. Is that the gray one that Garth sells off Etsy?
Yes, exactly.
That's exactly the experience I'm having with that particular one. It doesn't keep it going forever. It definitely extends the life of that 18650. And I've even put 2 batteries in that enclosure. So a bigger panel will do a better job. I have one with the voltaic system, and it's got a bigger panel, and it just stays up there forever. I don't have to charge it. But I love that one from Garth. But that's one of the limitations is it's eventually that panel will not keep up.
Well, and the deal that I had with it was that, like, okay, you get this thing and you're like, okay, and you open it up, okay, the rack, and you can go and get documentation from rack about all of that. And then underneath there's this thing called a Buffalo board. Like, what the fuck is that? Sorry, excuse me. And, but what is this, and where do I get the documentation on it? And I kept thinking, wait a minute, in order to enable the panel, am I supposed to change a jumper or something? Because there's all kinds of stuff on those boards, and there's nothing mentioned in any, or I couldn't find any documentation, basically.
You're right. I just looked at the board. I think the board has it has the Bluetooth antenna built in. One of the antennas, the lower,
right.
One of the others built into it, and I just trust that it works. And I think that the limitation is the size of the panel. If you look around on YouTube, you'll see other mesh tastic people, and they just moved on to bigger panels.
Yeah. See, what I'd like to do is take one that's like, 500 or 600 feet away from the house that I'm moving into, and stick it out there and leave it, for long periods of time.
Right.
And like here at the house, what I've found is that, over time, apparently there are people out here that, try mesh tastic once in a while, and so I'll see somebody show up, and that's kind of fun. So I kind of wanted to see what would happen if I put one way out there. But I mean, I'm literally in the middle of nowhere, which I think is going to make it real fun, because either I'm only going to hear myself, which is fine, or maybe some other people are experimenting with it out there.
Hey, Donna, she's got one.
I did a video on the voltaic system. Take a look at that, but try that one. That one I never have to take it down. And I check it every 4 days, and it's just I never have to take that one down. And people will. So my system, people are using these in airplanes, because I'll get one message every 2 weeks. So it's a flight 41,000 feet or 38,000 feet or something, and they're just there for a moment. But people are getting interested in this, and
yeah, the ones I've had have been out for a week or two, and then they disappear. But yeah, I mean, so and they're based on the GPS locations of those guys. They're a couple blocks from me. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty neat. I just think it would be neat to have them, just sitting around collecting data while I'm out. And the racks have additional boards that you can add to them with sensors on them. And I think that's one of the things that we're not doing with LoRa, is going and putting sensors on them and collecting data.
Oh, yeah.
From various places, like, moisture or, whatever. And so I'd like to get into that part of it too. That just sounds it looks like it'd be a lot of fun.
Josh, was that super glue you put on there?
Yeah. I cracked one of the stabilizer things.
And what did you say, Tim?
Oh, I was saying Renogy has a panel now for the.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
A special coupon code.
Just go to Grayman Poda, and it will forward you to the affiliate link, right?
Oh, there you go.
No, Don. It's the coupon code is Grayman Poda 75 for 75% off all Renogy products.
Yeah.
Or orders will be canceled though before you.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It took them like 6 weeks to cancel one of mine.
Josh, are those special buttons that you've ordered, or did you print those?
Oh, I printed all of this.
Yeah, Josh, those will make great Mother's Day presents.
I know, that's why I'm doing this right now. That's why I got to. Yeah, absolutely.
Because for some reason I feel like I'm going to Micro Center tomorrow to buy a printer.
Yeah, my printer is very is good. It's very good. These are good prints. And it took me a long time to get here, don't get me wrong. I went through a lot of really bad printers. I've had some really crap printers, and I'm very, very happy with the Bamboo right now.
I'm curious to compare printing quality when we get there.
Oh yeah? I don't know. It's
I'm not. I'm actually not curious at all.
What do you have, Mike?
An Ender 3.
Oh, okay, same as me.
Something or other. I suck.
Well, I've done a lot of work with it, and basically it's just like it's a struggle every time. And the thing is, I get frustrated with the amount of stuff I'm throwing away, but at the end of the day, I can usually get a print done, or more than one print done.
So if we do we lose the button?
Josh told me last night to buy once, cry once, and get the Bamboo.
Yeah, did I say that? Is that I don't think I
say that.
I don't think I said buy once, cry once. I don't think that's in my vocabulary.
Well, somewhere in the conversation that came in.
So if I do this should all just happily go together now. So look at that. This fits like a
nice.
Oh, like money. This is still set up for Laura though, so it's gonna need some zhuzhing here.
Well, Tim, it is a good policy to live by once, cry once, because how else are you supposed to live? You don't want to keep replacing stuff, right?
I don't want to keep crying.
John, I loved that all of your parts just fit together. When I put the top into the frame, you got to use a little bit of K and MRD force.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely have 3 different size drill bits out to drill out the holes for the screws and stuff. But, I think it's going to hold it.
So are those self-tapping screws or?
No, I'm just pushing them.
Have y'all ever seen anybody move a piano?
Yes. Laurel and Hardy did
I have.
a video called The Piano Movers. It was a formative piece in my youth.
Yeah, I had piano movers come and move the player piano and the baby grand out, and it's always just fascinating to me to see somebody else that's in an industry you don't know anything about do something.
Oh yeah, I love that.
And especially when they're experts at it, it's like, damn, when did somebody ever think to do? It's because they have these special boards that they put the piano or the grands on, and little bags to carry the legs and all kinds of stuff that who knows how long it took them to figure out that was needed.
Well, yeah, once they got it to their location and I'm like, hey, why is this thing out of tune? Well, it's because we beat the crap out of it the whole time we were driving it over.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're talking about years and years of experience of people moving pianos, but yeah, it's the tools that they've come up with for all this stuff. The straps were just unbelievable. I know I've looked, or watched some of the videos recently about the overlanding stuff and the straps, but there is nothing like the straps they were using today.
Oh no, my USB-C port is blocked.
Uh-oh. Bad print.
And Don, I had a guy. It was a single guy moving about a 900-pound safe into my house, and all by himself. He did it all by himself, and he was a skinny, small dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just all about the leverage and like you were saying.
Oh yeah,
he'd been doing it since he was 20 years old, and he was. Definitely knew how to move it and use his body effectively.
Yeah, and that was the thing this guy was saying. I mean, he goes, because I was telling him that, like, when they moved the player piano, the other group of guys that had come out when my wife bought it, they picked it up literally from the house across the street and carried it, 3 guys, over to our house and put it in. Well, he said, oh, that's crazy. He said, no, you don't need to do that. It's all about leverage. And he sat there and lifted that piano up and stuck the rolling cart underneath it by himself after telling me that the thing weighed over 500 pounds.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, geez. And then later on, he's saying, no, I would never do anything that would danger my back.
Now, as far as pianos go, it's nothing fancy or anything, but we do have a standing piano here at the house. And granted, it has 2 wheels. I'm able to move that by myself across most of the floor, no problem.
True, but you don't have one of those pianos with a whole bunch of mechanics in it to make it play automatically, which is
definitely.
And he opened it up today. I'd never seen inside it. He opened it up today. All of the stuff that makes that thing play is metal, and not we're talking cast iron stuff. It was unreal. And he said, however, the baby grand weighed more, probably 1,400 pounds, and then the like he was talking about taking regular grand pianos up and down flights of stairs in order to for various concerts and so forth like that. I was like, I mean, what a job.
Oh, absolutely.
And not only that, like he had moved pianos literally he was out at our house at 6:00 in the evening on a Saturday, and he started at 7:00 this morning, and he's getting $400 and $500 a move.
That's not bad.
No, and in fact, that was for like the pianos that we moved. He said the grand pianos would cost $900 a piece.
That's money well spent, Don.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I wouldn't touch it. And to me, and honestly, in the one the player piano, I was getting rid of it. So I paid him $400 just to get rid of it.
What are you doing? My son's here now. We have to.
Yeah, we see him.
We got to do Mother's Day stuff right now. The other one's coming too, I assume.
Well, you are doing Mother's Day stuff. She just doesn't know it yet.
Oh, that's right. That's right. This is her mess. She already has a mess. You got to do the thing that's very special for Mom after this.
All right. So let's hear the temperature in the room. Creality K1C.
Not familiar.
No.
I made her so many games.
Was at the mall alone for her first time, and I gave her a tastic node to track her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't imagine my wife having being thankful that I gave her something that tracks her location where she goes around. But honey, it's so we can chat together. It's like, don't we have a phone?
Well, that tracks you anyway. A phone tracks you.
Right.
And every single app that you've got running on that phone is tracking you while you're driving around.
I know, right? I am the...
I do actually know, yes.
I am the product.
It only tracks you if it's on and on.
You're talking into the mic. You're too loud.
Yeah,
no mic discipline.
The truth of that is, though, you're giving that information away.
Yeah, Jody, you're right. Don, you should be signing up for everything as Mike.
Well, it helps Mike, too. It dilutes his real information.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's how we justify identity theft now? Is it dilutes other people's information?
Yeah, actually, I sign up as a smoking ape, but that's just me.
They let you use that as the name, the smoking ape, when you log in.
That's your new government name, Don?
Yeah, the government name.
All right, there it is. That's the that's it. All right, I gotta flash this thing and then we're gonna be done. Boyos.
So there's one last question in the YouTube chat if we want to take it, Josh.
Yeah, what is it?
Is aluminum or stainless steel better to make ground plane radials?
Aluminum, but who cares? I mean, they'll both work.
It doesn't matter. Like you're talking about like aluminum wire?
Well, he said it
don't
doesn't
say.
really say. It's exactly the way Frank read it.
I mean, that's I lost a button. That's why we love questions like that, right? You got to be very specific in your questions, guys. Otherwise, we won't know how to answer them. Is it wire? What are we talking about?
Trying to clarify here.
What? You're standing right here. Why are you holding my arm? Hold on, I'm talking to
While
myself.
we're waiting, this is interesting. 80 meters
get
starting to
here.
pick up,
Get out.
but it's very wavy.
He's talking about eighth-inch rods, apparently. And I honestly, again, it doesn't. I don't think it matters. Aluminum's a little better, but not that much.
If it conducts electricity, it's fine.
Yeah. They both do. They're just, one's a little less efficient than the other. But again, actually at the end of the day, and by the way, we are assuming these are ground-mounted radials, not great radials in the air. It won't matter much, except that the radials in the air need to be cut to the correct length. I mean, a lot of the CB antennas are made out of aluminum, but there are some. I had one back in the early 70s, I want to say, that was made out of stainless steel. Worked fine.
40?
I don't remember the brand. Because honestly, I didn't buy it. My dad did.
Hey, Josh, these Hilltech boards, they do not have a GPS on them. Is that correct?
No, and there's a real cheap module. I have it linked in the video description that you can add it to this board, and it'll start working immediately. You just have to add a couple of settings on the Tastic app, and the Hilltech picks it up immediately. This guy's running a GPS board right now. It's more cumbersome. Don't get me wrong. The wires everywhere because you gotta you have to have all these jumpers inside here to make it all fit, but it does work. All right, so there's that guy.
So Brinkerhoff Systems wants to know if anyone's sticking these Tastic units on balloons.
Yes.
And drones.
Mm-hmm.
And airplanes.
But yeah, there's a guy in my club that sticks them on balloons.
We have a guy over here that's using kites also.
Mm.
And let's not forget, you can now pipe those to APRS, so it makes it even better.
All right, so this guy's plugged in now, so we're gonna flash this. We're gonna flash this right now. So that was it. We went from 0 to an assembled Tastic. Let's pull up the website.
Have you used the command line Tastic, Josh?
No, I haven't. Have you?
No. Yes, and I love it.
Yeah?
I think, yeah, because there's so much information you can get out of these boards.
Really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So this is a Hilltech V3, so you select that. Select firmware version, just go with whatever the current stable is. So, fine. Is that stable? Is a beta? Okay. Flash it. Yep, gives you a big warning. And I just leave it at 11,000 baud. Do that. I want to do a full erase and install because it's like it's trying to do LoRa mesh right now, which is like the LoRa sensor-based system. So let's erase that. 17 is the port, and boom, should just start going. Maybe. I think we might have got it. Maybe not. Wait.
Josh, I don't see the link for the other thing, the GPS unit.
I didn't paste it? Oh.
Yeah, right. You get Coax and the Tastic, that thing, and then some power output calculator.
All right, one
second. I have.
It should be 17. That's not working. Okay, let's. So if you go to printables. Tony G is the guy here, and he has a reference to, where is it? This module.
That will soon be in Josh's store.
Yeah, I'm going to add it right now. Add to. Where is
No,
the
I
mesh
think it's-
tastics?
I do not think that's a good antenna.
Oh, there it is. Boom. It's added. Now go ahead and refresh. Okay, this looks like it's bugged out here, so let's stop it.
And how do I get the NMEA strings out of that?
Oh, the port didn't die out. That was way too fast. I think the battery might be screwing this up. I might have to take this damn thing apart again. I didn't flash it beforehand. Oh, 17's gone. Okay, so it is 17. Okay, port 17's there. Heltec V3. Beta. Flash. Continue. Oh, did I not do the reset? Let's see. What do I have to do for the reset? I think that's what it is. Hold the boot button. That's what it was. All right. But it's on. See, I did this backwards, I think. Yeah. See, now I'm gonna have to redo the whole thing. That's fine. Now the holes are all hogged out for me, so we're gonna be good to go.
That's what you get for doing it live, right?
I know, right? Yeah. It's fine. Everybody, there's no question on what the right answer is to do this now. So let's just disconnect the board completely because the battery's also throwing it off a little bit. So no big deal. We'll bring it all back out.
Welcome to the Heltec brick.
Oh yeah, I'm on a brick one. Maybe I'll brick it. We'll see.
They're really hard to brick.
These are pretty solid devices. USB-C,
Yes.
Being able to charge lipos, pretty impressive. I gotta say, the Heltec V3 has been like a really nice little unit.
Yeah, I've got I think 4 of the V2s, and they're just really not. They just won't do anything much.
So,
but the I've got to get some V3s, but first I need to move. So
yeah. So we'll get this guy out of here. Let's remove the battery for now. Okay. So now, by the way, the buttons are wrong. I have the wrong button set up. I like the button that's like right above the surface, like barely able to press. I like that to be the one that resets the whole thing. So I am gonna pull the screws all the way out and do it right. If you're doing it, you might as well do it right, even if you're live.
yeah. Well, we're patient fellows.
I guess so. Yeah, you guys are hanging out while I'm literally screwing on a 3D printed job here. So.
And we're 15 seconds behind.
No, I've got it on ultra low delay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My streams have been ultra low delay now for this whole month. I'm like, you guys are fairly low on the shenanigans level, so we're okay going a little.
Yeah.
Getting a little wild here. So, okay. So now I'm going to let it go. Okay.
I mean, Don, when you came in, you couldn't tell that the delay was very minimal?
No, not really. I haven't. I was too, and still am. I'm just like, this has been a very, very busy day for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we figured you were busy because you weren't in here right away and you weren't in the main live.
Yeah, it was mainly the piano movers. My sister was over here.
Wait a minute, Josh. Are there 2 different buttons?
Yeah, there's 2 buttons.
You said to print the 7mm or like the medium button.
I said to print the medium button and the short button. The short button is the one that you go over.
Short.
That's the one that goes over the reset button. So okay, now I'm gonna hold down. I'm gonna hold down the reset button, and I'm gonna plug in the unit. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, it's plugged in.
Mac users and their one single button.
We don't have a single button anymore, Don. Okay, I'm taking this whole thing out. God.
I think Mike has the single button mouse though.
Okay, here we go. Mike does not have a single button mouse. There's no way.
It's not a single button mouse if you do it right.
That
I don't really give a shit what you guys say. It's comical.
It's still only one button.
Oh, he's got a this mouse or that. I don't give a shit. I'm trying to ask a technical question. And I have an Apple Magic mouse that does way more than any of your stupid Windows mouses. So you guys can go suck it.
That's good.
Mike, I'm right there with you.
I have a gaming mouse that has more buttons than you can shake a stick at.
Yep. Me too on this PC. That's how I've been playing Helldivers, the best game of all time.
So hang on, Josh. Let me talk about the buttons. We got a button medium, we got a button small, and we got a button tall.
Yeah, I use the small on the reset button of the Helltech, and I use the button medium for the user control button. But if you print the long button, that's a little bit easier to press when you're trying to slide through all the stations you've heard if you need to get on the screen. But I'd only use the small for the reset button because you'll bump it too often.
So small and or medium or tall.
That's right.
All right. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's how you answer a question, boys.
Well, hey, Mike, that's kind of my whole deal, right? I try and help people out.
It's amazing how many people don't understand how to answer a question without putting their, if you did it on a Windows computer.
But Mike, there's this guy that does this thing called that answers questions every Monday, and he does a pretty good job.
You talking about Periwinkle Jim?
No.
No. I think he calls it Mailbag Monday or something like that. I'm kind of forgetting right now, but
I thought it was douchebag Monday.
You have been featuring some DBs as of note recently.
Hey, Josh, I have a question for you, slightly off topic.
Yep, go ahead.
When are you going to go back to full quiet? I know you've been busy with Hamvention.
I don't know that I am. Those live streams are
Really?
they're dead, man. Nobody watches those things. I'll just play it on my own time. You now know about it. Go play it on your own. You don't need to watch me play it.
I will say this. I did appreciate them while you had them.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And it was good. But it's a game. By the way, the game also started pissing me off where it was like giving me puzzles that I could only find out that were like a stupid level of looking around. Like some of those trees that I had to shoot, like that pissed me off some. So when it gets to the level of like I gotta call Nintendo Power at 75 cents a minute to get an answer to my question, that's when the game pisses me off a little bit. The game's still good, highly recommended, but yeah. Also, my free time is going to Helldivers right now because that is actually a good game.
Fair enough.
With my zero free time, my gosh, that game is it is like so before I got really hard into making like Ham Radio Crash Course and all that stuff and being active with Ham Radio, I played a lot of video games, and one game that I just loved was Left 4 Dead. Did anybody play Left 4 Dead?
Yeah.
So Helldivers 2 is a better version of Left 4 Dead, and it's also like it feels like it was almost a carbon copy of Starship Troopers. You play as a Starship Trooper, basically. It is so good. It is so good. It's insane. It is so good.
Have you ever played anything, or do you care for games like Baldur's Gate 2 or 3? Is it?
Only if I have time, and then generally it's like I'll dip into the normie side of it and play like Skyrim or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm into games like that, and I'm actually playing.
Yeah.
Divinity Original Sin 2 because I liked Baldur's Gate so much. I was like, man, I've owned that game, Divinity Original Sin, for a long time. I never finished it. I'm going back and taking another dive.
All right. So we've completed our flash. The flash is now complete. The board is seated in home. Where's my buttons?
You mentioned something about scrolling through your stations. I'm still trying to figure out how that thing decides what stations it displays, because it sure doesn't display all of them.
Oh, yeah. No, you got to go to the app generally. And once you reset the power, it seems like it forgets about some of them. Like it's a little It's a little obtuse in some cases on how you do it. I don't want to lose. I lost a button already. Stop it.
While we're waiting for you to button things up, no pun intended, I am actually amazed at how many people I'm hearing on 80 meter FT8 right now.
Hey, Mike told you.
It's
where the cool kids are.
I've never heard or seen this many people on an 80 meter FT8 before.
Really?
Mm. And how many people are on 160 meter right now?
Oh yeah, all the rest of them are on 160.
You know, my noise floor is like a 20 over S9 on 160, so
yeah,
actually it looks like a couple stations.
Yeah, I can usually hear a couple of them, but I even with my noise floor of 20 over something or 20 or 30 over, I can usually hear one or two. And that, by the way, is with a 160 meter ham stick. So I really want to see what this going to be like in a couple of weeks. But we'll see.
Yeah, we were betting as to how much you were going to enjoy the new place with all the antenna room.
Oh yeah, we were talking about how like you're going to be extremely active on the radio real soon here.
Yeah. Well, I won't have the Mercury for a while until it gets fixed, but yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter. You're at 100 watts with no noise floor. Who cares? You're going to be You're going to be loving it.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys know, but literally I am around the corner from a park or a state park.
You've mentioned that a couple times.
Yeah, okay. I can't remember who I said it to and who I haven't, but yeah. So I've got there's many things I can do out there. It's just going to be the only thing is I'm still working. I'm not retired, so it's only so many hours in a day. But
come on, Jody, you can ask that.
I don't know if I can ask that.
Well, Josh, are you and Smart Jason doing another hunt or hamcation, or can you say?
Oh, I don't know that I can tell about that super top secret piece of information. That it would be a shame if we didn't do it, and I guess the only way you'd find out is if you attended the Ham Nation talk Saturday morning on if we were doing it again.
Well,
I was going to go there just to heckle, but okay, now I got 2 reasons to go.
And it's not like we doubled the challenge questions and made it harder than it ever was before, with new devious ways of challenging your ham radio knowledge. But who knows what we're talking about.
Oh, seriously? I didn't know if you guys would spend the effort. That's a lot of work you put in.
It's mostly Jason, so make sure you give 1,000 thank yous to Jason. He's the brainchild behind all of this. I do have a part to play, and there are other people that wait, what am I talking about? You heard none of this.
So do you have it, and maybe this is not an appropriate question, but do y'all have it set up where, like, even though somebody has finished the quest, that you can allow, that other people can continue to run the quest and finish anyway?
Absolutely. If we were to do one of those this year, you would be able to finish it just like we did last year, no matter how deep down the rabbit hole you went.
Yeah, well, what I mean is, though, somebody's already won, but everybody else can still have the fun of finishing it out.
If we had
good.
Yeah, we got to be able to have that capability. That's crazy. Okay, so the Go Node is such a... God, get out of here, man. All right,
and
there's
while
a new
you're
one.
getting that one ready, Josh, you were joking earlier about who I was working. I literally just worked Kilo India 7 CIA.
Oh, that's funny.
And that was on 80.
All right, I got to set the region here. It's done. It's going to reboot right now. And if I have my... There's my... Okay, let's pull this up. There's my channels. So if I go to nodes, I go to settings and hit channel, add a channel. Let's do, where is it? Come on, no, let me scan, dog. Oh, share QR code. Replace channels. No. Oh, how are you supposed to do this? Oh, that's right. You just take a picture of it with your phone. There you go. And then Meshtastic will go, yep. So you just take your camera app out, take a picture of that, added it. Tubers is now added. It sets the primary as unencrypted, so we're just repeating. We're good to go. It's all set. Done. Dunzo. There it is. I did screw around a little bit with that, but that's all it is to it. All set.
Hey, Josh, I got a printing newbie question.
Yep.
So this print that you can download from printables or whatever, is it possible to make some modifications to it, like include your call sign or something like that?
Yeah, so it depends on what your slicer that you're using, but yeah, you can generally add text to things if you want to. I should have done that to all my prints. Just put KI6NAZ ham radio crash course off it, and then gave it to everybody. Like, there you go, it's free. All right, well, I've got to head out here because the kids are screaming, and the wife called me, so I'm assuming there's trouble in paradise. And I got to get ready for Mother's Day. Please, everybody, ham radio related, take care of your moms. Take care of your moms because they're usually the ones, and actually your wives are probably the ones that put up with the most of your crap. So make sure that you take care of them, okay? Please do. Otherwise, they won't let you come out here to play. If you get them pissed off enough, then you're not going to be able to play here anymore. And we need you to keep coming out, okay? Let's see. By the time I'm going to post a video on Monday, well, depending. I'm going to edit a video tomorrow. We'll see if I get done with it. But if I don't, I'll be posting a video on Tuesday. And then I'm flying. I'll be in Ohio proper Wednesday evening. So a couple of things to hit up really fast. There is a happy hour of some note that I'm not fully aware of yet. I don't know what the details are on that, but there's a happy hour. Of course, there will be the Troll Pub on Saturday. So make sure you come on out to Saturday Troll Pub in Dayton proper. Get all of our friends together. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we'll probably all be doing 4 Days in May stuff. So we're going to be hanging out with the folks there, buying QRP kits that we'll build 2 years from now. So you know how that goes. All right. Good.
Now, what is the YouTuber's frequency again?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm on Meshtastic, guys. I organized the Meshtastic channel, so on Meshtastic, I'll text out what is the VHF frequency. It's
14.300.48.
48, not 58. 48. I was off by an
48.
I was off
48.
by a whole killer.
And look for the early check-ins on the YLNet.
Yeah, I think we'll be doing early check-ins for the YLNet every day of Hamvention.
We're actually be starting tomorrow.
Oh, before we're even there. Yeah, I mean that's good. Early.
Well, they're early. They're early check-ins.
They're early check-ins. Yeah.
So one last quick thing, Josh. I just worked Ham Till It Hurts. He's down on 80 meter FT8. He's down to 50 watts and inverted L. Broadside is north and south, so I'm actually off a null in his antenna. And I just worked him, what was it, a minus 13, and I heard him minus 16.
Pretty good.
This is just wild.
Oh, yeah, man. 80 meters is great. Oh, you know what? One last thing. I want to show this before I go. So if you end up putting the GPS in your Meshtastic, if you triple click the user button, it disables the GPS, which is a new feature. But if also, so I didn't put a power switch. My primary node is going to have has a power switch and a GPS switch. But if you just hold down the user button, which is the one that's above the screen or to the top side, hold it down. Well, I didn't even hear it click. Oh, I didn't make this. Oh, it's not robust.
Is that the smaller one? Do we want the smaller one on top there?
No, you want the long one on the top. The long one goes on the top. That's the user button. But it's not responding to me. Uh-oh. I don't think I hogged out. Oh, I didn't hog out the button enough. It's not hogged out enough. I have to open this up again. Okay, I got it. Hold on. So hold it for 5 seconds. There, it's shutting down. So when you that puts it into low power mode, which I'm told is 1/10 of the power consumption of a normal mesh tastic device when it's in this. It's not completely powered down because it's still button based, but that'll get you through most situations. So I guess I got to open this up again, hog the buttons out a little bit more. But yeah, that's it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, that's one of the things about the command line. You can do all of those commands through the command line from one node to another node.
Yeah, but having the controls on the device is the way you want to be, I think. I think. I know. If you give the man a terminal and he'll figure out how to make coffee with it.
Well, if you're standing at it and have access to it, yes. But if you're miles away, the command line's the way to go to controlling. It's like remote controlling a radio.
So that's what this node is designed to be. This is the repeater node, if you will. I'm going to hide this somewhere, probably in the Gigaparts booth, and I'm just going to let it run every day. And that's my repeater for the weekend. So that's my plan. Mm-hmm. That's my plan on how I'm going to do this. I should probably now that I've done all this, I should probably now reprint the faceplate to say KI6NAZ so people know it's mine. All right, everybody, I got to head out. Mike, text me if you need anything, like if you need to print something, okay?
Just go ahead and reprint everything for me and Jason, if you would. But
I have a baggie here that's actually like all my loose parts, including some screws.
I don't know what Jason has. I'm just printing the
that's
frames
all going out to you guys.
So I got the screws, like the nuts.
You're soup to nuts right now.
I only am providing the external hardware. So if there's antenna stuff, whatever, we're hams. We'll figure it out. If I don't have a mesh tastic, guess what? I'm not going to be out anything because I have an ID50.
Yeah.
So no, I don't care. I'm looking forward to playing with it, but I don't see myself ever using it.
Okay. Well, great. All right. I'm glad I'm committing so much time. All right.
Can we get a signal stick for this?
Yep. All right.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I'm out. Later.
Take it easy, everybody.
Later, Mike. Later,
Appreciate
Josh.
you. Take it easy. 73. I'll play you out, okay? That's what I'll do.
73.
And come up and say hi. I'll have stickers and other fun stuff, and we'll just chat. As long as you walk with me wherever I'm going, then we'll be good. Okay? Then you'll be my best friend. 73, everybody. Take it easy. Wrong song. There it is. Later. Hey, goodbye.